213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Nobody covers your cats like we do.
Drops back, feeling some pressure, and Trey Smith is there.
He's a bona fide leader. If I can get 3 or 4 of Trey Smith every year, this thing here is gonna be through the roof.
We are Wildcats Radio, 1290.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
One bounce over to Bradley, holds the ball there, driving on DeBonsa, gets into the paint, bounce pass. There's Karchinkov, driving slam. 9 points for Karchinkov.
The boys, they are back in town. Arizona basketball, they've actually been back for a little while. But our first chance to see the boys today over at the Richard Jefferson Gymnasium as they are getting set for their overseas tour that is going to take them to the home country of one Motiejus Krivas, Lithuania. Guys looked good today. A lot of energy in the gym for the open practice. We don't get necessarily a lot of chances to see open practice, maybe a few every year, and always good to see your Arizona Wildcats out there moving around. A lot of different drills we got a chance to see today, offensive drills, defensive drills, rebounding drills. There's kind of a cool rebounding drill. I don't know if I've seen that before, where they just kind of, again, threw the ball up at the rim and guys boxed out. Sometimes they would just drop it on the floor and as a turnover, and guys would have to grab it. Kind of a lot of what we see sometimes with Arizona football practice, where, hey, the ball, go get the basketball, go get the football, because turnovers, takeaways are so key to success in organized sports, whether that's football, whether that's basketball, heck, even if you can take away a home run from somebody at the fence in baseball, that counts as a takeaway as well.
Back in Coach Olson's days, they used to put a bubble on the rim, and so you couldn't make baskets, and it was a rebounding drill, and whoever won the rebounding during the week got the minutes during games. But all you got to do, DK, is go watch a Kelvin Sampson practice, and that's a mix of both, because they roll the balls on the ground as if it's a fumble drill. So, yeah, I mean, when you play in a league with the likes of Iowa State and Houston, loose balls and rebounding are always a premium.
What stood out, obviously got a chance to see Caleb Holt. Looks good, kind of strong looking guard, a little bit more muscle on him than maybe we saw last year with the more slender Braden Burries coming in. So we'll kind of see where that takes him and what kind of game he has. Again, they've got some tall players that are on this team. But one of the things I think that really kind of I noticed was that maybe lack of a Toby Awaka looking big man that we've seen the last couple years. A Toby Awaka, Koa Pete looking big man. A lot of the big men are kind of thin, not necessarily skinny, but just not maybe with that bulk that we saw with the two power forwards last year. And obviously that's something that we've talked about a lot this summer is are they going to be able to fill that piece that's missing with the departure of those two guys to the National Basketball Association. But that definitely was one of the things I thought that stood out to me today, and getting a chance to watch the guys was just maybe that the lack of that power forward presence that we've kind of come to see here the last couple of years, whether that was Toby Awaka and Keyshawn Johnson or Toby Awaka and Koa Pete.
Yeah, I mean, if you read any national message boards last year, DK, outside of maybe the Florida Gators and Michigan Wolverines, every fan base was jealous of Arizona's front line. You're talking about 3 NBA guys, right?
Yeah.
And so it was a rarity, I think, last year to see that much strength and bulk and size and length in the front court. And the topic all summer long has been the 4, and what are they going to do about the 4? And is Ivan Karchenkov maybe going to slide down for a few games? But real quick, I want to go back to Caleb Holt. If people don't know listening, I've seen Caleb Holt as high as number 3 on next year's NBA mock drafts.
Yeah.
He's definitely a top 10 prospect right now. At 6'4", 6'5", really strong young man. And, rumor has it from prolific prep days that he is very eager to get after it on the defensive end and is just a menace attacking the rim. And I've seen, a lot of highlights that back that up. But really looking forward to seeing what that young man can do in the Big 12, in the non-conference, because, DK losing so many players from last year's backcourt. You just talked about the front court, but think of the guys that are no longer, you're not going to have Del Orso off the bench. JB, Player of the Year. Obviously, we know what Braden Burries did. So it's going to be a big ask to have a freshman come in and take on a lot of responsibility like that. But for all intents and purposes, everybody's pointing to Caleb Holt as being one of the few guys from this high school class can step in right away and take on that mantle of being potentially the leading scorer for the team.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Full show for you on this Friday. So we did get a chance to, again, watch some practice today. I think it's actually got going a little bit later than anticipated. I got to see probably about a good 40 minutes of it before I had to jump out of there and get back here. And I believe it is still going on, but we will be hearing from Tommy Lloyd as well. We'll get to that later in the show. He is addressing the media, and unfortunately, they dropped an opportunity on us. I wish we could make it kind of an informal get together with Tommy after today's practice, which we don't necessarily get a lot of opportunities like that, but unfortunately we won't be able to make that because it's during our showtime hours. But that would have been cool just to kind of get with Tommy and just kind of talk off the cuff, completely kind of one of those off the record type opportunities with the head coach, where you can just kind of get some questions answered, kind of get some knowledge for your data banks and that kind of thing as you get ready to go into this trip that they're going to be taking to Lithuania, and then they'll come back and get into the fall schedule before we start to ramp things up ahead of those 3 exhibition games, which they'll be playing in the month of October. So we will hear from Tommy Lloyd coming up a little bit later in the show. Also, it is this weekend, as we mentioned yesterday, a celebration of Lute Olson. And we will talk to another Arizona basketball alum on the show today. Salim Stoudemire is going to join us. Maybe, if not one of the most prolific three-point shooters to ever put on the uniform here at the University of Arizona. Steve Kerr, Salim Stoudemire, those two guys right up there at the top of all of the lists that involve anything that have to do with three-point shooting. And Salim Stoudemire is back this weekend as a coach with the fantasy camp, which is over at the Sporting Chance Center. Began today. Fellows began arriving yesterday. There was a welcome dinner last night over at the Westward Look Hotel, and then the camp going on today, tomorrow, and Sunday over at the Sporting Chance Center. A lot of great Wildcats back. We had a chance to chat yesterday with Joe Turner, the smiling one, as J-Dub pointed out. Of course, some of the guys locally that are involved. Matt Muehlbach is there. Also, Pete Williams coming down, and Donnell Williams is in town this weekend. So a lot of guys participating in that event again this year. The 9th Lute Olson Fantasy Camp. I remember when they first started this event, and it was great to always see Coach there sitting on the sideline, not doing any coaching, just kind of observing and being somebody that folks could come over and chat with and whatnot. But just a tremendous, tremendous event that they have out here every single year.
I did get a text from our guy Paul in Phoenix yesterday.
Yeah.
And he said, as a partially blind man, I've always heard about this Lute Olson Fantasy Camp, and I would love to just go sit in the corner and listen to what's going on. And I'm like, bro, we kind of know the people that put it all together. I'm sure we could ask next time if you're in town next year, maybe we can make something happen.
Yeah, we'll have to get Paul down there. I'm sure he would have a whole lot of fun with that. So we're going to talk to Salim also, and we are anticipating a chance to get to chat with one of the campers. We did that a few years ago. First year we had the show here, 2023. We chatted with one of the campers, and we're looking forward to doing that again today.
We talked about how many fights there are at YMCAs and UDOLs. How many fights you think they're going to be at the fantasy camp this weekend?
Oh yeah. It can get competitive. Like Charles Barkley said, it gets competitive.
If you're not competitive, why are you there?
Right. Exactly. Also, we are anticipating a chance to chat with Becca Moros, the head coach of the Arizona soccer team. She is, I believe this is year 6, maybe 7 for Becca, if I'm not mistaken, 7 for her. And she and her ladies will be playing their first friendly on Thursday night. I'm sorry, I believe they play on Wednesday. They'll be playing a friendly out at Mulcahy on the Murphy Field pitch at Mulcahy Stadium. So we'll talk to Becca Moros about the squad that she has this year as they begin their season. A little bit of earlier start time. Arizona Volleyball held their first fall camp practice yesterday, and we're back on the court at the Richard Jefferson Gymnasium again today prior to our arrival there to watch basketball practice. So Coach Terita Stubbs has got her third year now after a little bit growing pains the first year, getting back to the NCAA tournament last year. Some changes, obviously losing your starting setter who had been here for 2 years, so there'll be a new setter this year. But you got Carly Cisneros back on the outside and a lot of the bigs back as well from last year's team. And so looking forward to another hopefully successful year for volleyball. As again, fall, we talk about fall as it relates to the Directors Cup. 2 of the 5 teams were able to score in that effect last year, but hey, that's 2 more than we've had in a lot of these years where we haven't had any of the 4 teams able to make the postseason. If Becca Moros' squad could maybe get that going, they have not been to the postseason in quite some time. I think it's been at least they've not been there since she arrived, and I think so that's about 6 or 7 years ago was the last time that the soccer program went to the postseason. And, of course, cross country getting back on track as well with their new coach as well. So we'll hopefully get some better performances as they begin to ramp up. They didn't do a lot of traveling at all last year with the new coaching staff, and we'll check out exactly some of the events that they're going to be going on to this year as well. So the fall schedule, it was kind of weird, J-Dub. It's kind of weird just being back on campus. It's still very, I mean, it was hot as Hades.
I was going to say, does it feel weird saying fall when it's 107?
So there was nobody walking around.
Yeah.
There was nobody walking around on campus today. And obviously we're still in the quiet time before school starts, which is coming up in about 25 days or so. But it was just kind of like taking that right turn off Campbell to go back onto campus, which I haven't done a lot in recent months. Just kind of gets you set for obviously next week with the start of football practice, and we'll be making that trek every day for the next few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anybody who's ever lived or worked in a resort-type town, a town that's based on a seasonal activity like Vail, Colorado, right? And like having bartended and worked on the U of A campus for so long, it feels like you're a native during those summer months where there isn't those throngs of people walking down sidewalks everywhere you look. And so it's kind of a nice breath of fresh air. I mean, if you don't mind breathing in 107-degree heat air. But, there's nothing better, DK, than the promise of a new year and all the, new freshmen coming to town and getting to know Tucson, and obviously these early, sporting events with the soccer exhibitions and the red blue for volleyball coming up in a couple of weeks. It's just a great time of year. It's a great promise of, what's to come.
There you go. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Diamondbacks with an early start to the weekend series in Cleveland.
Who are they playing today?
They are playing my tribe, so that'll be a 4:10 first pitch. Some big news from the Diamondbacks farm system today that is Southern Arizona related. We'll dive into that as well as we get you closer to first pitch. I've got how about our guy, Pat Boyle, he's got another tennis play for us today. That's 4 straight days now. We've gotten a tennis play in our Westwood One top plays on a match that starts at 5. So I'm going to hopefully give that to you a little bit earlier than normal. So you have plenty of time to go bet this if you so like.
Pat Boyle's done
that.
pretty well with those picks these last 5 days. Has he not?
We lost 1, but we've won the other 2. So we're 2-1 so far. So this will be the 4th one that we've gotten this week. So hopefully if we nail on this one, that'll be 3 out of 4. That's pretty good. If I'll take 3 out of 4 if we can get that for sure.
Every person who bets on sports will take 3 out of 4. Yeah,
exactly. 30. What do we got? 36 days to Arizona football. We'll let you hear from your Wildcats as well. Camp again starts next week. Official media day on Tuesday. We'll get a chance to chat with Noah Fafita and the guys there, and of course, ramping you up for Cardinals Panthers next Thursday night, the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. We are your official Southern Arizona home for the Carolina Panthers.
We might potentially have some Larry Fitzgerald thoughts.
Oh, there we go.
On getting ready for next week.
Nothing wrong with that. Larry Legend taking his rightful spot in Canton, Ohio, coming up next Saturday. DK on the Sports Tip, 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. Dragon Ball is here. He will have everything happening around Southern Arizona this weekend. Hopefully most of that will be indoors and in a cooler environment. So we'll hear from him. Right now he's getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
Dragon Ball here with your traffic and weather update here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Incident with property damage over at East Dawn Road and South Houghton Road. A lot of backup here on Houghton as you get to the intersection there, so try to avoid that if you can. And we have a crash with possible injuries at East District Street and South 3rd Avenue. This crash just east of 6th Street with most of the slowing here on District as you go ahead and get closer to the fairground area there. For your weather, we're at 108. We won't start seeing a cool down until about 5:30. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Never wait to see your family doctor again. And My Doctor Now, you don't need to take time off work or even schedule ahead. Open 7 days a week. It's your family doctor. Available same day, every day, guaranteed. Go to My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Did you hear what we're talking about?
Gabe York is joining us. How many more years do you think you'll play?
I told myself the moment I can't dunk anymore, that'll probably be the last day. I'm 32 now, so I can still go between the legs.
DK on the Sports Tip, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The American spirit lives in every corner of our nation. You see it in the wide open skies over the farms that feed us and in the homes built by hand. You hear it in the cry of a pedal steel guitar and in the quiet peace of the dirt roads that connect us. You feel it in a neighbor's handshake and in the bravery of our nation's heroes. This is 250 years of American grit and everything we stand for at Boot Barn.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first, but when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Ande Ortiz,
When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is a commercial with real words about Tobacco Barn, so let's get straight to the point. Tobacco Barn slices up to 40% off all your favorite tobacco products. You pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation.
Are you kidding me right now?
A rare chance to tell the tax man no.
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 Plus, at TobaccoBarnTucson.com, there's a coupon that can save you up to another $3. So check out the website.
This is a great moment in internet history.
Anyway, back to the main point.
What's going on around here?
Tobacco Barn slices up to 40% off all your favorite tobacco products. You can keep your city and state sales tax away from the tax man.
Ooh, that one hurt.
And save another $3 with the coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700, plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy Posturepedic mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Kick off the school year with Kohl's Friends and Family Sale. Because with 20% off styles kids love, they're not just going back, they're making an entrance. Save on jeans that turn hallways into runways. Tees that make them walk a little slower, for effect. Sneakers that say, I'm so back. And more confidence-inspiring looks for every grade at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles, 20% offer ends August 2nd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
The Diamondbacks are in Cleveland to wrap up their 10-game road trip. This guy is not yet with the Diamondbacks, but he is on a rocket pace to the big leagues.
And the pitch swung on and hammered into deep left center field. Back goes Jimenez. It is out of here. It clangs off the bottom of the scoreboard. A 3-run shot for Demetrio Crisantes, his second home run of the game.
That was absolutely destroyed.
Ground ball up the middle. Crisantes right on cue. 13 runs for the Aces. Crisantes has knocked in 3.
Crisantes flares it. Get down! Yes! That's a fair baseball for the cycle!
Diamondbacks Download. Baseball talk.
Demetrio Crisantes out of Nogales, Arizona. I mean, he right now is on a rocket trajectory to the big leagues. He started this season as the number 3 ranked prospect in the Diamondbacks organization, just 21 years old. He's dealt with some injuries the last couple years that have kind of slowed his pace just a little bit. But what we've seen from this young man so far this season is nothing short of phenomenal. Started the year in A-ball, and again, nowadays A-ball can mean just about anything. He started in Hillsboro. Hillsboro used to be short season, but now it's plus what they call a high A or A plus. So it's a higher level, I should say now. Speaking is sometimes difficult. So he started the season there, played just 4 games there because he also spent some time, again, coming back from injury down at the complex. with the rookie side as well. Played 13 games, hit 308 in those. Played 4 games with 13 at bats, hit 308. Quickly got sent to Double-A. Amarillo, the Diamondbacks Double-A club, is now in the Texas League in Amarillo, Texas, and absolutely tore up Double-A. 5 home runs, 26 RBIs in 35 games, an OPS of 961. So just after 35 games, the Diamondbacks sent him to Reno. So he's already at AAA, and in just 8 games at AAA, Demetrio is hitting .314, 11 of 35. He has yet to homer at AAA, but he has driven in 6 runs so far. So Demetrio Crisantos out of Nogales High School, who was a 7th-round draft pick, 4 years ago in 2022, has already reached AAA. You heard his offense, but he can also pick it on the defensive side.
This is the ground ball, backhanded by Crisantes. Jump throw to first is in time. They got him. Crisantes with a highlight on the 4th of July, fading away Jeter style.
Ooh.
Hey.
Ooh.
Slow down there, friends.
Fading away Jeter style.
If you're going to invoke a player, you maybe not the most well-known popular player of the last 30 years, probably.
Coaches, let me tell you, I spent about 9 years of my life as a minor league broadcaster, and sometimes the big league coaches don't like us because we will bestow stuff on hot prospects and hot players on our teams that haven't reached the big leagues yet. Like I remember one player I remember specifically where this happened was the Cardinals had a player by the name of John Rodriguez. And John Rodriguez had basically, kind of floundered through the first 6-7 years of his professional career and had bounced around with a number of AAA clubs. And he got to us, had been traded to the Cardinals like at the end of spring training in 2006. And got to us and just had an unbelievable 1 month. I'd have to go back and look at the numbers, but it was crazy. He played like 34 games and hit like 15 home runs and drove in like 40 runs. I mean, it was off the charts, okay? So one day at batting practice, I was just kind of looking, as a broadcaster, you're at BP, you're kind of trying to pick up on stuff for the broadcast. And I looked down at his cleats, and he had on his cleats written J-Rod. And so I said, J-Rod. And when he got hot, I started using J-Rod like during the broadcast all the time. Big home run for J-Rod, all that. So it like, and the Cardinals obviously are one of those organizations that are vastly covered by a lot of people. And so it kind of took off with the writers. The writers kind of heard that we were calling him J-Rod, and he was like he was literally like Crisantes. He was the talk of the minor league system because he just was putting up these astronomical numbers. So he got called up in like July to the big league club. First opportunity for him to go play at the big leagues, and a reporter asks Tony La Russa, "So Tony, what's the plan for J-Rod?"
Uh-oh.
And Tony like literally went ballistic. He's like, whoa, this guy hasn't even played a day in the big leagues yet.
Yeah.
And he's got a nickname, J-Rod.
Got to earn that nickname.
And all that kind of stuff. So it was like, and I remember I played that cut on my pregame show. I was like, hey, my job as a minor league broadcaster is to build my guys up for my fan base.
Yeah.
So if I can bestow a nickname on them or something that our crowd grabs onto and wants to go down to the ballpark every day and get this kid's autograph, then that's what I'm going to do. I can't be concerned about, this guy hasn't played a day in the big leagues, he shouldn't have a nickname yet. That's not my concern.
Yeah, no, I mean, more and more people fail to comprehend the most simple, basic premise, which is that two things can be true at the same time, DK.
Right.
So it's true that you, as the announcer for a minor league team, your job is to get the fans excited about a young player, come out to the park, follow their careers maybe to the next level and so forth and so on. And you also understand the major league manager maybe not wanting a kid's head to get too big before he's even faced any kind of major league pitching. Not to mention, you get a target on your back when you come in and, oh, hey, this kid's got a nickname. Let's make sure I show him the filthiest stuff I have.
Yeah. So that, they Tony La Russa wanted to make crystal clear we are not calling this kid J-Rod. Like, and then he went off on this one, like, because he was like, of course, obviously Alex Rodriguez was playing at the time, and he was A-Rod. So why he was like, so why don't we come up with? He was like, why don't we come up with something different? Like, we've got A-Rod, we can't call him J-Rod. So then he said he dropped, why don't we call him Johnny Load or something like? It was so ridiculous. It was funny. Now, again, I mean, tons of respect for Tony La Russa, who managed for a lot of years in this league.
One of the best.
Obviously, the Duncan's dad was by his side for all those years and whatnot. But when he said Johnny Load, I thought I was gonna spit up my Pepsi that night because it was just so funny.
Yeah,
when he said that. But good on Demetrio Chrysantis out of Nogales High School. We've not had I'm trying to remember. We haven't necessarily had many local. I mean, obviously Mason White from U of A is a local player that's on the fast track as well to the big leagues. I believe he's reached AA. So we've got some young men who grew up here in Southern Arizona who are on the doorstep of becoming major leaguers. And so that is really, really fun to watch. This young man is in 4 years, when he's been healthy, and again, he's only played 205 games, and he's never played more than, looks like 92 games in any one season due to injuries. He had some injuries in 24 that carried over into 25. He played those 92 games in 24, but then in 2025, he only played 34 games due to the injuries. So really, this is 2026 an opportunity, and he kind of some of that carried over into 2026 because he's only played looks like 50 games so far this year as Demetrio Chrysantis, but he's hitting 320 in the minor leagues. And it was interesting just to go back to the Jeter point. Apparently, in an interview early on in his professional career, he said he felt like he could be a Mookie Betts type player.
Hey,
yeah. So that's just kind of what he's shooting for, and we've started to see that this season already.
And according to Baseball Reference, they got him listed as a second baseman, third baseman, and first baseman. Mm-hmm. So a little flexibility there.
Yeah. I think mostly it'll be interesting. I think he probably profiles mostly as a middle infielder.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he's got, I believe, 5 home runs this year, but I don't know if he's going to be, quote, a power hitter. I don't know if he projects as a power hitter. So one of the corner positions, I don't know if that's probably best suited for him. Second base is the one. I think he was playing second base when he made that play that we were talking about.
Don't do a lot of jump throws from third.
No, not at all. Not at all. But doubt we'll see him, unless he just rips up AAA. I don't know. I mean, we could maybe see him in September if he rips up AAA. But I remember when he got drafted, we were down there at a summer I think in fact I talked earlier this week. It was the 50-70 regional that's down there every year. I went down there to cover that summer of 22 when he was drafted. Right after he got drafted, I remember talking to him down there and how excited he was to be a Diamondback and get a chance to come up through the system. And he's making a whole lot of folks proud down here in Southern Arizona. So great to see that for Demetrio, I should say, Chrysantis. All right, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. In terms of the big club, again, they're opening up a series. 4:10 first pitch is coming up in Cleveland against the Guardians, and they've got one of the young guys on the mound tonight. Mitch Bratt is going to get the ball for the Diamondbacks. And again, he just got called up, so he's beginning his major league career. And Mitch Bratt so far 0-1 with a 6.32 ERA and 15 2/3 innings. Tanner Bybee on the other side for the Guardians tonight, 4-10 on the season, a 3.98 earned run average. Night games today and tomorrow in Cleveland, and then a day game to wrap things up on Sunday before the club will come home off of this 4-city tour. All right, 520-848-1290. Again, the Ludos and Fantasy Camp is going on. We are going to talk to one of the campers coming up. That is going to be in a few minutes. We're going to talk to a gentleman by the name of Nate Tenney, and he apparently, I'm told by Mike Fader, who put this whole thing together, has been a camper for the last 7 years. So, I mean, again, this.
So is he coaching now? Or what?
He should be. He should be coaching, I would think, if he's been going that long. But we'll talk to Nate, get an idea why he keeps going back, why it's something he continues to do. I've never done a fantasy camp. I always kind of wanted to do a fantasy baseball camp. You know, a lot of the big league clubs will have those in like January, February, right before spring training starts at their facilities. And I'd always said, I want to go out, because I've had some friends that have gone out to Indians fantasy camp back in the day, and they just talk about how much fun it is just to kind of play ball and meet new guys and drink beer at night and all that kind of stuff and be on the fields and that kind of thing. And so I've always
drink beer, chew tobacco, like all those things that major leaguers do.
I'd always kind of wanted to do that. I remember the first time I dipped snuff. That I was at the back of the bus, and and this 19-year-old kid. I think I was 23 at the time. It was my second year in pro ball. And this 19-year-old kid, his name, you might have known him. He played for the Dodgers for a spell. He spent some time in the big leagues. Named Kareem Garcia.
Yeah, I'm
left-handed
familiar.
hitting slugger. He says, DK, you want some tea? Like you want some tobacco?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'd never done it before. I was like,
but you want to be a cool guy, right?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
So I dipped a little snuff and got real.
And then you swallowed, and then
I
you
did
got
not
sick.
swallow it. I was strictly told, do not swallow it.
Do not.
Do not swallow it. Just take your soda bottle and get rid of it that way, but do not swallow it. Yeah,
I'm glad that's gone out of fashion. I'm like, I grew up in the 80s where it was very common, right?
Yeah.
But you don't see a lot of that anymore.
No. There's too much gum disease going around now with a lot of those guys. So, yeah. All right, we will chat Ludos and Fantasy Basketball Camp straight ahead. Dragon Ball getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives. He's got your traffic and your weather.
Dragon Ball here with your traffic and weather here for Wildcats Radio 1290. We have currently an accident with injuries reported over at East Grant Road and North Alverdon Way, north and southbound Alverdon, seeing a lot of backup here. Meanwhile, a quick reminder that southbound Park Avenue between 36th Street and 22nd Street is closed, but road work will continue northbound on Park between 36th Street to north of 22nd. For your weather, still at 108. We'll get down to 106 here by 6 o'clock. Dragon Ball through Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. Summer should be fun, not expensive. That's why, for a limited time, Wendy's is serving up small classic Frosty treats for just $1. Celebrate $1 Frosty Summer with a hot deal on a cool treat. Get it while it's hot. Or, cold. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do.
That ball's going to be caught out at midfield. Chris Hunter, another spectacular catch.
It's the last year. I just want to put it all out on the line. Use everything I learned. Make this year a great one.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
New Orleans Saints wide receiver Chris Olave has a new deal. Olave is signing a 4-year extension worth up to $132 million and $90 million guaranteed. When healthy, Olave has been one of the best wide receivers in the game. Keep an eye on the Saints heading into the season. New Orleans is a sleeper team that could win the NFC South and make the playoffs. I'm Chris Black.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Oh, no, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling, the neighborly done right promise, and more, Mr. Rooter Plumbing will have your life flowing again in no time.
All fixed. Much better.
Mr. Rooter is proud to cheer on the Cats. Mention this ad for 10% off any plumbing service. A win for the whole family. Bear down, Arizona.
Mr. Rooter Plumbing, a neighborly company.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of feller who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. America's Big 250 starts this month. Did you know Tucson's first Presidio is 250 plus? If you're not careful, you can still experience those original dirt roads crossing town in the bottom of wagon wheel busts and suspension slaying potholes. It's why Arizona drivers count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care to protect their tires and suspension for life with Jack's Plus Pack. Every passenger and light truck tire we install comes with a free alignment check and 12 additional services, including professional installation and lifetime tire maintenance. If you're shopping around, Jack's got you covered with major brands and budget-friendly tire options. Compare Jack's total installed price. Backed by our low price promise, we've got you covered completely through both our seasons, monsoon and road construction. Check out Jack's Plus Pack, a $249 value at jackfurriers.com. So make an appointment online, call ahead, or just stop by any of our 14 award-winning locations. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, we're here to get you there.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Right now, somewhere in America, a student is training, a student is studying, a student is working when nobody is watching. Not for recognition, not for attention, but because excellence is a habit. The 2026 Patriot Games are searching for exceptional students ages 14 to 17. Students ready to compete, ready to lead, ready to show America what they're capable of. $250,000 scholarship prize pool. Applications are open now. Your story, your opportunity, your moment. Applications now open. Freedom250.org. America's next champion could be you.
Good evening, ma'am. We're the Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team, here for the overnight install of your new AC unit.
Great. Come in. We're so excited for a sleepover.
Oh, well, we're actually putting you and your family up in a hotel for the night. We work while you sleep.
Oh.
Okay, who's ready for a movie night? Popcorn or s'mores?
You know, that sounds pretty good.
No, it doesn't.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Providing overnight installs so you don't miss work or leisure time with your family. GoodfellasAC.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, Ludos and Fantasy Camp is happening over at the Sporting Chance Center. Things got underway today. 9th year that they've had this event here in Southern Arizona, a tribute to Coach, the Arizona basketball program, and all of those that have followed it, and opportunity for people here in our community to go out and play some basketball and be coached up by guys that they loved watching wear the Cardinal and Navy. And then one of those guys who has been at this camp now, I understand, 7 times joins us on the show. His name is Nate Tenney. Nate, am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
Yeah, you got it.
Nate Tenney joins us on the show. Nate, appreciate you taking some time. So you've been to this event 7 times?
I have. It's been awesome every time.
So what kind of made you first want to go and do this?
It's funny. The first time that I did it, they actually had a drawing on Facebook that my wife saw, and she was like, "Hey, you got to go to this thing." And I was like, "No, it's totally fine." But she submitted me, and I didn't win. And they reached out to her, and they were like, "Hey, he can go. It's okay." And so she made it happen. She basically signed me up without me even knowing, and I'm super happy that she did. So,
wow. Okay.
And then every year since then, it's been like, yeah, we're doing it.
So you've got the wife to thank for that. So Nate, did you play basketball growing up? Were you a basketball player?
Yeah, I played in all the way through high school, and then I came down to Arizona. Wasn't good enough to play here, strangely.
So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Prescott.
Okay, Prescott. So were you a Wildcat fan growing up in Prescott? And what's your background in terms of U of A, or did you just become a fan once you got down to school here?
So my family was kind of split. There were a lot of ASU fans up there, but my older brother came down, went to Arizona, and by the time I was in high school, I was pretty locked in on U of A versus anybody else. So it was pretty much a no-brainer that's where I was going to go to school, and so I was pretty hardcore. I mean, I graduated in '97 in high school, so the timing was really good.
So you got here the fall after the national championship.
Yeah.
So what was that year like on campus? Like when everybody got back? What was that year like on campus when everybody got back? With them coming off the national championship.
It was amazing. Like there was a really great energy. I mean, and that team was so good because everybody came back.
Yeah.
And so you could see all these guys. Like I had a psychology class with Mike Bibby and Donnell Harris, and I would see Miles Simon walking around and Michael Dickerson, and these guys are like, they were huge, and everybody knew it, and it was a great year. It just was. We ran into a buzzsaw that night against Utah, but I still think that was the best U of A team ever. We just couldn't get it done in the tournament.
Nate Tenney is our guest. He is one of the fantasy campers out at the Lute Olson fantasy camp. What was your first game at McHale Center like? What do you remember about that night?
So there was no student section back then.
Oh wow.
They had drawings for tickets, and so I got selected to go, and I had like 6 games that I was allowed to go to as a student. And the game was, the first game was one of those, non-conference directional schools. I can't remember who we were playing. So it wasn't a very good game, but it was just, the atmosphere is just intoxicating. But, later in the year when we started to play in the Pac-10, because it was the Pac-10 back then, you start to play those games. Like I was at the UCLA game at that year, and it's just insane. I still go. I'm a season ticket holder now, and I've been to more games than I can count, and I still love every minute of it.
Nathan Tenney is our guest. He's a camper at the Lute Olson Fantasy Camp. So you mentioned, obviously, you graduated. You stayed here in town. You work at Raytheon. Is that what do you do at Raytheon?
I'm a program manager.
So what does that mean exactly, or can you tell us? Is that top secret?
It just means that when we get contracts, we need to execute them and work with operations and engineering and make sure that we deliver what we deliver on time. And so I work with a lot of really great people and really, really cool products, and it's certainly interesting. It's kept me here. So
now I was mentioning this before we brought you on. So again, you've been to the event now 7 years in a row. What keeps you going back year after year? Because I was telling J-Dub, I was like, I've never been to a fantasy camp. I'm a baseball guy, so I kind of always wanted to go to one of the baseball fantasy camps. But I think I'd be good with one. You keep going back and back. What makes it so fun that you want to do it every year now?
Well, one, I love basketball, and what it really consists of is a bunch of people who love to play basketball, and so it's just an excuse to play. But additionally, there's like a brotherhood that we kind of form, right? So there's a lot of people that are repeats and have come, and so I've seen these people, and this is like we see each other every year, and then you start to form a relationship with the former players as well. They're just really good guys, and so it's just a really good environment and atmosphere, and it's something that is healthy and fun, and every year somebody gets hurt because we're old, but we just deal with it, and it's fun. So there's a social aspect of it, there's a basketball aspect of it, and then there's just a general unabashed. We all love Arizona, and we all kind of grew up in that Lute era, and it's something that we can just do together, and it's kind of a unified effort that we all really enjoy. And so it's one of those things where it's like, why wouldn't I go back? That's kind of my mentality at this point.
So describe what the first day is like. Today was the first day. Describe what goes on the first day.
Well, the event actually starts the night before. So and that's actually one of the highlights for me is that we have a dinner before we have the games. And so last night we had our kind of introductory dinner where you meet new campers and people who are coming for the first time. You reconnect with the players, the former players who are here as coaches. Usually Tommy comes. Last night it was Jack Murphy because Tommy was out of town, and comes and talks about the team and just kind of gives like a quick rundown on how things are, what his assessment is of the season. And then the former players go and they go around the room and they all tell stories about Luke, things that they learned from him, kind of funny experiences. Last night we talked about how they came to Arizona and what their stories were from a recruiting perspective. It's just kind of cool basketball stories and just sharing some information and doing that. So that's kind of what really kicks it off. And then today we start the camp in earnest. And so, we spend a lot of time stretching, again, lots of old guys, right? So a lot of time stretching, doing some drills, just kind of working through, loosening it up. And then we play pickup games, like 3-on-3 games in the morning, just so the coaches can kind of get a sense of who does what and how people play. And then they go in the back room and they go through and they do a draft of the players. So they put together, so there's 4 teams usually, 2 coaches per team, and the coaches will end up just going through, and I'm not sure whether they do a snake draft or like a regular draft, and then they just pick a team. And then after lunch, they come out, announce the teams. We run through a couple things, just kind of get to know each other as a team, and then we play our first game, which we did today. So, and then what happens? We end up playing everyone plays everyone, and then we have a championship on Sunday because it's always going to be a competition. Otherwise, what are we doing?
Have you ever won the title?
I haven't. It's one of the things that bugs me. So.
That's another reason you got to keep going, because you got to get that ring.
Yeah, I guess I should have said that's the reason I'm still going, right? Let's be honest.
Nate Teddy is our guest, Ludos and Fantasy Camper. Now, I understand you guys are at practice, because I was there earlier. I had to leave because I have to do this show. But you guys are at practice, or were at practice?
Yeah.
How was that?
Yeah, it's fantastic. And that's one of the things that we've really noticed with the Tommy Lloyd era. Because when we first started, Sean Miller was the coach, and it wasn't like he was against the camp or anything. He just wasn't as inviting or open from for this kind of experience. We always get to come down and go to McHale and go through the locker room. But with Tommy, it's been a situation where he's like, yeah, open up, come on down to practice. And it really depends on the timing. This year, we're doing it a little bit earlier so we can see an actual practice. A couple of years ago, they didn't have practices, but they were having kind of open runs that they let us to come down. And so that was the year after Benedict Matherin left and, Christian Coloco, like those guys had left, but they were still here just working out. And so that was really fun to see everybody. And then, after they give time for all the players to just mingle with us and our families and just take pictures and hang out. And it's really one of the highlights. So we're super excited that we're able to do it.
That's awesome. So do you have kids that you've been able to experience this, or?
I have. They're huge Arizona fans, and so I brought them down. I have 2 boys, they're 15 and 12.
Oh, wow.
Kind of right in that sweet spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Did y'all get a chance to go to the Final Four, any of the postseason this past year?
No, I was going to, and then I just couldn't make the math work financially, and boy, am I glad that I didn't.
It was nothing. I don't know what day it was. I tried to make the math for the World Cup work, and that was definitely going to work. I don't know what the math for the Final Four looked like, but I'm sure.
Yeah, it would have been a lot of money just to get hotels and flights and all of that. It just wasn't going to work out.
What was your favorite part about this past season?
Oh, this season was amazing. Like, I would say watching the tournament from home, the Purdue game was amazing because for whatever reason, my boys developed a very strong hatred of Braden Smith, so they were very happy to see him lose.
Easy to do.
I don't know why. I honestly don't know why, but so that was phenomenal. And then the Kansas game at home was a real highlight just to be there, just with the atmosphere, because they were very excited to see Darren Peterson play as well. So, but yeah, those are ones that stand out. But just the vibe in general for the team, like that was a very lovable team, and it was a really awesome season. I mean, no matter what, 36 wins, getting to the Final Four after not being there for 25 years is amazing. So.
Well, that's awesome to hear, just kind of how Tommy's opened it up. I mean, that's I would expect nothing less. That's just kind of the guy and the coach that he is, and why he is so loved here in Southern Arizona. And so who's your coach this year?
My coach this year is Salim Stoudemire and Jay John, actually.
Okay. Oh, awesome.
First time he's been here, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to chat with Salim coming up in the next hour. So
he's great.
Hopefully you'll get some fine coaching out of those two guys, and if you win the championship. Now, Nate, if you win the championship, you got to come back on the show next week, okay?
I'm all for it. Just let me know.
Awesome. Hey, have a great weekend out there, Nate, and stay healthy.
All right. Thanks very much. Talk to you later.
Nate Tenney from the Lute Olson Fantasy Camp, Arizona Wildcat graduate class of 2003, undergrad, Bachelor of Science, Industrial Engineering, 2004, Master's Science, Industrial Engineering, and has been now with Raytheon here in Southern Arizona for 20 years out of Prescott.
Braden Smith catching strays.
Right.
No, I mean, I was the same age that his sons were when, Steve Kerr was, when the 3-point line came in and Steve Kerr was a senior, and I was about the same age, so I know what that feels like, and I'm sure I hated everybody that the Cats played back. Well, the star players, at least, back in those days, too.
There we go. 1 hour of the books, 520-848-1290. Again, we're going to chat with Salim Stoudemire coming up in the next hour. Of course, we're going to be keeping close tabs on the Guardians and the Diamondbacks. I can't watch it on my computer because it's blacked out, but at least I'll be able to see it on the TV here in the studio. Also, we'll let you hear from Will Johnson, fabulous second-year cornerback with the Arizona Cardinals. One of the guys that's going to be expected to be a huge piece on what many don't think is going to be a very good defense this season for the Bird Gang. We'll hear what Will has to say about all of that. Also, potentially, we're efforting Becca Moros from the Arizona soccer team. Hopefully, we get a chance to chat with her, if not, maybe early next week. DK on the Sports Tip. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Dragon Ball here with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. 22nd Street is still closed between Tucson Boulevard and Cherry Belle Avenue, with eastbound turns from Aviation Parkway on 22nd Street not permitted there. The Aviation Bikeway also closed north and south of the bridge. You can use Broadway or Aviation Parkway to use as alternate routes, but there is some work on eastbound Aviation Parkway between Keno and 22nd that causes afternoon slowing there. For your weather, still going to be at 108 for some time here before we drop down 98 degrees at 9 o'clock. I'm Dragon Ball with you, Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Never wait to see your family doctor again. And My Doctor Now, you don't need to take time off work or even schedule ahead. Open 7 days a week. It's your family doctor. Available same day, every day, guaranteed. Go to My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Hey, it's David Kelly, DK on the Sports Tip. Don't forget to download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. It slaps. We've got full coverage of the Wildcats, the Suns, the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks, Pima College. Download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app today.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of feller who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000. Use code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000.
Good evening, ma'am. We're the Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team, here for the overnight install of your new AC unit.
Great. Come in. We're so excited for a sleepover.
Oh, well, we're actually putting you and your family up in a hotel for the night. We work while you sleep.
Oh.
Okay, who's ready for a movie night? Popcorn or s'mores?
You know, that sounds pretty good.
No, it doesn't.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Providing overnight installs so you don't miss work or leisure time with your family. GoodfellasAC.com.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, get any size mattress for one low price, starting at $249.99. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer helps you easily find and buy the right coverage for you. It's everything you've always wanted. Well, I mean, as far as a website that lets you shop, quote, and buy insurance in one place. But hey, maybe that is everything you've always wanted. Yeah, people have different types of dreams. And if all you've ever been searching for is a website that helps you choose home insurance rates and coverage, boy, do we have great news about Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Your business isn't a science experiment. So at Cumulus Digital, we don't speculate, we execute with a proven framework delivering results 25% better than industry standards. Go to cumulusdigital.com, fill out our form, and move from guessing to knowing.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Tune to DK on the Sports Tip weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
It is Friday, and we are talking basketball here on a Friday. Nothing wrong with that. Arizona Wildcats working out at Richard Jefferson Gymnasium today. Got some good video of a lot of the guys. Mentioned Caleb Holt, and got a chance to get some video of course, Bryce James. Bryce he's always good for clicks on the interweb. So get video by Bryce James, put it up, and you can get a lot of interaction.
How's that facial hair coming along?
He was pretty clean cut. It's pretty clean cut today, for sure.
Is that what his dad was super excited about last time he came home?
You're right. Oh, that's right. He had a little beard going on.
Yeah.
A little beard going on. I think it's not any more so than it was, I think, that day. It's not like he's going full on LeBron beard or anything of that nature.
I'm pretty excited for this Lithuania trip, personally.
Yeah, it should be fun. I mean, they're going to play some great competition over there for sure.
Yeah, you mentioned, obviously Moteas Krivas.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I always think of Tommy Lloyd's connection to the Sabonis family because, Arvydas, the greatest player ever to come out of that country, and potentially could have been one of the greatest NBA players of all time if he had come over here in his 20s. And his son, Tommy told the story of going over and sitting in Arvydas Sabonis' living room and pitching the Zags to his son. So, he's got a connection there. So that's definitely a great place for Coach Lloyd to go back and some memories, but getting able to play some national teams and get the exposure of going over to Europe. I'm happy that they, relinquished those rules where you had to do that. It used to be every 4 years, right?
Yeah, and now you can the great thing about it is you can do that every year now.
And come on, I mean, with the landscape of college athletics, but college basketball in particular, just go look at this last summer's revolving door of players coming in and out of college basketball in the NIL situation and the transfer portal. There's a lot of people coming. In fact, this is another conversation for another day, DK, but the entirety of the act that they're trying to pass through Congress affects whether or not players who've previously been paid to play basketball in Europe are even going to be eligible this year. Like we mentioned Mika Murinin the other day going to Arkansas. He's been paid. So if that doesn't pass, there's going to be some people in limbo. But there's so much talent coming over from Europe right now that making a trip like that, getting that exposure, and then obviously for the student athletes being able to experience other cultures, it's just great all around.
Got a chance to see a little, obviously, J.J. Mandaquit, to the transfer guard from Washington. Going to be kind of interesting to see kind of how he plays into the mix this season moving forward. In terms of the guards, and Cameron Holmes has showing a lot of length out there as well, the freshman out of Goodyear Millennium High School here in Arizona.
I got some Lou Olson Fantasy Camp coaching for them.
Oh, yeah.
Feed the bigs. Feed the bigs. Feed the bigs.
Yeah, we got to see them. Ugnis Yarashevich. I know I'm going to mess that up. Ugnis Yarashevich is the big man out of Nebraska who came over. Endurance. Let me see if I can get this one right. Endurance Ayumenkwe. He goes by Indy. He was out there today, 6'11" forward. He's 235. He's a freshman. Yarashevich is 255. He doesn't necessarily, it's not like a bulky 255 at 6'11". Again, kind of, and then obviously Mabil Muwat is still with the club, so he was out there today as well. It looks like he's put on a little bit more weight. He's at up to 200 pounds now as he begins his sophomore year. I believe he'll be a sophomore. Yep. Or did he redshirt? No, which one played last year? Was it Mabil or I think it was the other player that
I don't know if Mabil got in any games. I have to check.
It was what was the kid that transferred out?
Oh, I'm blanking on his name right now.
Last year. So,
yeah, Mabil did not play last year.
Yeah, no. It was
you just said, okay, can I just pause you right there? Like, you just got done with the whole spiel the last 12 months about players that are on campus for 1 year right. and then leave to go somewhere else. And are you a Wildcat for life and all of that?
Yeah,
and then, 4 months later, we don't remember the name.
CD guy. Can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Already.
So I'm wishing CD nothing but the best.
Absolutely. Pretty much same coaching staff. Tommy Lloyd, obviously, Jack Murphy out there, TJ Benson, Brandon Chappell came by and dapped everybody up. Evan Manning is back again this year. Ken Nakagawa was out there. I did not see Jason. Well, Jason, I think, is coaching over at the fantasy camp. So that's obviously not a coach, director of player relations. So did not see him out there because he's got other duties. But and that's another thing. You got the entire coaching staff back for a second year. So that leads to that continuity piece right there for the Arizona Wildcats. So.
And in general, the more successful your basketball program is, the less continuity you have with your assistant coaches.
Indeed. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Cardinals are in camp. I don't know. They generally, I would imagine they're probably going to have a red-white game tomorrow. I haven't seen anything on that, but normally they'll have like a red-white scrimmage ahead of the first exhibition game. So that could be something that's happening up in the Valley tomorrow. Let's hear a little bit from your Arizona Cardinals, the Bird Gang, as they get ready to go to Canton, Ohio.
The best coverage of your Arizona Cardinals starts now.
Believe it or not, I am seeing August 9th.
As the red-white?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that it could be. I mean, they may have just, because their second preseason game, generally you do it before the first preseason game, but you're not normally playing in the Hall of Fame game, so they might just wait and do that.
Yeah, it pushes the schedule up a little bit.
Right. Let's hear from Tyler Algier. Now, Tyler Algier, interesting enough, came over from the Atlanta Falcons. He was kind of in the backfield. He was the number 2 piece alongside Bijan Robinson for the first 2 seasons of Bijan's career. And obviously an opportunity to leave there, maybe get some different run, a starting position possible here, depending on when he signed as a free agent, what was going to happen. James Conner still, a lot of issues about whether he was going to be able to come back or when he would be back. And then the Cardinals went, of course, and drafted the running back out of Notre Dame, Jeremiah Love. Tyler Algier talked a little bit about all of the pieces in the running back room for the Bird Gang.
I feel like it was good. The front office has their reasons and all of that, but I think it's just another weapon to put on, get on the offensive side. I think it was a great pick. Great player, great competition in the room, and we're really a backed up room. So it's great to have. I think depth, especially in this league, is always great to have. Just having a lot of options. So it was a great piece.
Did you watch the draft live in the first round, or did somebody in the Cardinals call you to let you know that they were going to draft Jeremiah?
Yeah. So I watched it live, obviously, because I want to know. It's my team too, or it's my team, or it's all of our team. But I'm part of the Cardinals now, so obviously I'm going to watch obviously I'm going to watch it. So then being able to, then when they drafted him, it was exciting. Then Coach LaFleur ended up calling me and then saying saying afterwards and stuff. And then shoot, it was good.
Did you have any flashbacks to what happened in Atlanta when they drafted Robinson and all this?
No, it was just obviously we've been a part of that, but then you end up drafting Love. But it was good. I think it's just another weapon that we can have on the offense, and it's not like there's any bad blood or anything. I think just building that relationship, we're pretty close right now too. So just building that relationship and just feeding off each other on and off the field. So it's been good.
We've seen you work with the ones still plenty of times throughout practice. Do you still feel like you're getting the respect of the reasons why that they brought you into this building?
Yeah, I would hope so. I think what I've done in the past and what I'm doing now, just slowly building. I think I feel like that's everyone, whether they're sixth string or first string, it's just whatever you're putting on the field, and it's just 1% better for each and every one of us. So.
Tyler Algier, 5th season in the league, had a 1,000-yard rushing season his rookie year with the Atlanta Falcons. And then, of course, obviously Bijan came in there. And since that time, he has not eclipsed 700 rushing yards, and his carries went down. He had over 200 carries that first season, 186 his second season, just around 140 averaged carries the last 3 seasons. But again, a very solid running back, averages about 4.3 a carry, a former 5th-round pick who has carved out himself a role here in the National Football League, and a guy that you can depend on. Like I mentioned, James Conner, you don't know what that, he's got to get back and see if how he feels and how it works for him, and you got a rookie back there. So Tyler Algier is going to get some pretty good run here, unless, of course, Jeremiah Love just completely takes
And it's
off.
funny, too, because Jeremiah Love's presser that he did about a week ago, he got asked a ton of questions about sharing time in the backfield, DK. And you know what he said? He said, I love it. I love having fresh legs. I want to be able to learn from these guys, a lot of veterans in that room. So the idea of, trying to turn Tyler Algier against Jeremiah Love, a few of those questions there, I think we're trying to probe for an interesting soundbite. But for all intents, everything we've heard about out of that room, and especially considering what happened last year early on with all those running backs going down, it seems like there's a lot of camaraderie, and they're building on that. And Jeremiah Love says all the right things. Tyler Algier clearly likes the guy. So I don't think there's any infighting going on at the moment.
Not at all. Dragon Ball joins us now. Dragon Ball, what time is it?
It's the weekend.
He just blurted it out. Blurted it out.
That's what we did when you were gone. Yeah.
Man.
Throwback.
It is the weekend. Woo! Absolutely, and it is hot as
It's a
Hades.
hot weekend this
I hope
weekend.
if you've got stuff going on, Dragon Ball, it is indoors.
Well, nothing cooler than being in the mall on a weekend.
Oh, the
I'll tell
mall.
you. So if you
Okay,
go ahead and
let's
you head
go
out
to the mall.
So if you go to the
today.
mall this weekend, again, Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Sunday, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m., it is going back to school time, and the Tucson Mall's got the back-to-school craft and vendor market going on. It's free to attend, but you just got to bring money because there's a lot of vendors going on. You get all the back-to-school market features, all the local vendors, all the back-to-school stuff that your kids need in regards to backpacks, notebooks, and things like that. So do go ahead and check that out. There's going to be a lot of stuff being covered over there. Meanwhile, we got to remind you that Summer Ween's Revenge Market's coming up on Saturday. Now, this was an event that was supposed to happen a little while ago, but it got canceled because of the storms. So they're bringing it back for this weekend here. I don't know if that means that rain is coming up this weekend, but Summer Ween's Revenge is coming back Saturday at 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. over at Borderlands Market at North Oracle. Free. Again, the vendor's going to be out there. This was cut short the last time they had it up because of storms, but they're going to have a lot of spooky merchandise, live music, and there's even going to be a costume contest with a cash prize. So if you want to enjoy Halloween in the summer, this will be the time to go out and check that out there at Borderlands Market over on North Oracle.
How old are you, Dragon Ball?
I'm currently 33 now.
33.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are old enough. I don't know if you're going to the Beyond 30, the over 30 outdoor
Thank you.
day party.
You spoiled one of my things for the second half of this. Thank you.
Sorry.
So now I got to find something else now.
If I'd have known, I'd have waited. So I really want to go to this because these are like all the rage now. These these day parties for people over 30. They grew up in the 80s and the 90s and that kind of thing. And it's like the whole design is to get you home at a decent hour so you're not out really late.
Isn't that every 80s dance party that Cricket comes in and advertises every Friday?
No, because the Surly Winch is a night thing. The Surly Winch they don't even really get going at the
I just
Surly
meant
Winch
catering
until,
to Gen X types.
until like 8
You need
or
to
9
get an
o'clock.
early weekend nap.
It's like my
Sure.
wife always says, if they got to cater to the people that want to be home by 8 o'clock, so like 5 to 7 or 6 to 8 or 5 to 8, that's kind of the ideal. So this is a 4 to 9 party. I tried to get tickets, but it's sold out. So if you got a ticket for DK for the Beyond 30 party tomorrow, I know it's gonna be, it starts at 4. I was like, I don't know if I want to be outside at 4 o'clock because I think it's outside at hotel.
You
I don't
just
think it's
described why
inside.
parties are from 9 till 1 a.m. It's because it's summertime.
In Tucson at least. Yeah, in Tucson at least.
Hopefully, maybe they start this in the inside, the air-conditioned inside club.
Well, because that's at
there
the Hotel Congress.
Yeah, at the Hotel Congress there versus the outside party deck. So I'll take a ticket if you have one, 520-848-1290. I had to put my name on the waiting list because they're all sold out for this deal. So apparently a lot of people are going. If you're going to the Beyond 30 party tomorrow night, I want to hear from you and what you're looking most forward to.
We got
about
some
that.
friends down at Congress. I'm sure we could make some calls.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe.
sure.
Well, maybe I have to. Nobody inside the building here had any tickets for it. So, all right, Dragon Ball will have to find something else to talk about. At
I'll look. I'll find
because
something.
I stole one of his updates. We're gonna chat with Salim Stoudemire straight ahead. Cricket. Dragon Ball is getting you home. He's sitting right across from me. I should be able to see him. He's on my screen here too. Dragon Ball is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
Well, we got your traffic and your weather update here on Wildcats Radio 1290. First and foremost, we got an accident with possible injuries at East Irvington Road and South Campbell Avenue. A lot of backup at the intersection here. Do try to avoid this as they get this cleared out. Again, possible injury, so it's probably going to be there for quite some time. Meanwhile, quick reminder, Grant Road is still closed westbound of the I-10 frontage road to Flowing Wells east of the I-10. So Grant Road east of the I-10 will be back open again in early August, so it's coming up, but traffic can still use Miracle Mile or Speedway to get around that work at the time being. Meanwhile, still 108 degrees right now. Eventually, it'll get down to about 98 once we get to 9 o'clock tonight. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Never wait to see your family doctor again. And My Doctor Now, you don't need to take time off work or even schedule ahead. Open 7 days a week. It's your family doctor. Available same day, every day, guaranteed. Go to My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do.
Coach Deggy's offense is so special. I've said that many times. I think the scheme is one of a kind.
Back time, waits, fires, end zone. Touchdown. Spectacular play by Noah Fafita.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop.
Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, helping you beat the books with Westwood One Sports. Taking a look at the pro football futures market, New England is the second choice to win the AFC East behind Buffalo. New England plus 145 to win the division for a second straight year. And I don't think New England's going to have a Super Bowl hangover. In fact, I think New England could be better than it was last year. Give me New England plus 145 to win the AFC East. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000. Use code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000.
This summer, there are 250 reasons to join T-Mobile.
Girls trip? Booked. And switching to T-Mobile helped make it happen.
With Experience Beyond, switch and get $100 back. Plus, $650 in value in built-in plan benefits. That's $750 in your first year, guaranteed.
And honestly, that $100 back, I'm putting it towards the zip line.
Now that's how you do summer.
Exactly. Best switch I ever made.
This is just one reason to join T-Mobile this summer. There are 250 reasons. Find yours.
Savings based on the value of benefits included with Experience Beyond, like entertainment and 1 year of AAA Classic and Dash Pass on us. Benefits may require activation. See plan for details. Get $100 via virtual prepaid MasterCard with eligible port and no cash access and expires in 6 months. Issued by Sunrise Banks and a member FDIC. Allow 8 weeks. The July summer sales event is on now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. If adventure is calling, answer with a new 2026 Colorado Trail Boss with up to $4,000 off. Need even more capability? Drive home a 2026 Silverado Custom Trail Boss 4x4 with up to $10,500 off. Big savings, tough trucks, and a local team you trust. Find us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or shop 24/7 at O'Reilly.com. Together, let's drive.
There are many reasons you might need Dorado Rockin' Materials. A few bare spots in the yard, the driveway needs filling in, or it could be that the yard needs a whole makeover. Whatever the reason, if your yard has the summertime blues, Dorado Rockin' Materials has everything from sand to boulders and every rock and pebble in between. If you need help spreading it, we have options for that too. Call 400-4233. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
14 teams believed, 12 were wrong. The Indoor Football League National Championship hits the Tucson Convention Center on Sunday, August 16th. It's football full throttle. The best players, the biggest hits, the only game that matters. Don't just hear about it, be a part of it. History will happen. Get your tickets now at IFLNationalChampionship.com or Ticketmaster. The IFL National Championship, Sunday, August 16th at the Tucson Convention Center.
Back your hometown favorite. Get your very own exclusive University of Arizona debit card from Hughes Federal Credit Union. Pair your new card with a free checking account that earns dividends. With no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and convenient 24/7 online and mobile banking. Visit one of our 7 convenient branch locations to get your card instantly, or open an account online at hughesfcu.org/wildcats. Show your Wildcat spirit all year long with Hughes Federal Credit Union. Certain restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
The Lute Olson Fantasy Camp back once again this year here in Southern Arizona. A great event to honor the legendary coach as well as allow you fans of Arizona to get some up close and personal coaching from some of the greats that have worn the Arizona basketball jersey. And one of those guys in town this weekend, one of the most prolific three-point shooters in the history of the program, Salim Stoudemire, and he joins us now on the program, Arizona guard class of 2005. Salim, appreciate you taking some time. It's funny, we've been talking about 2005 all year long because that was the last time that the Arizona Wildcats had gotten to the Final Four before this year. I know you had to have been real proud to see your boys get back into that Final Four group.
Yes, I was extremely excited. Damon and I actually took a trip there and saw them up close and personal. We didn't get the result that we wanted, but it was still good to see everybody and share good positive energy.
Yeah, I remember I saw the picture. There was a bunch of guys there in Indianapolis that got together. What was that night like for you guys to kind of all be together and have a chance to obviously break some bread with this year's club?
Well, it's always nice. We share memories. We get to meet the new guys, share that camaraderie. We all have that, tradition and legacy stamped. So it's good to just bond and, connect and just have a good time. Embrace each other.
You mentioned you went with Jason. You and Jason speak pretty frequently, and kind of what was he telling you about this year's group and if he thought that they could potentially get to that point?
Yeah, Jason was my vet. So when I got to Arizona, he was the guy I looked up to for leadership. He showed me, how to be a leader, and I always respected him for that because he took the time out to teach. And, he did say that he thought that the team would do really well. I'm hoping they can carry that and continue that this season. So we'll look to see what happens.
So much of that when you talk about guys coming in and who's that main veteran guy that kind of brings them under their wing. Who was
Correct.
that for you? Who was that guy that you passed that on to when you got into that senior leadership, that veteran leadership role?
Well, I was just talking to Mike, and I was that guy who hung out with everyone on the team. Even if they listened to country or just did something total the opposite of what I did. Because it was about finding that common ground. And it gave me an opportunity to pass on all the things that were taught to me, from coaching staff, Lute, all the assistant coaches to all veteran players that I had. I just wanted to continue that forward.
Salim Stoudemire is our guest, Arizona guard, class of 2005, back in town for the Lute Olson Fantasy Camp. When you talk about Coach and his legacy here at the University of Arizona, just when people ask you about Lute Olson, what do you tell him about the man and the coach that he was?
Well, first of all, I talk about the man. He was very family-oriented. Everything was about the group. It was never about an individual. And then on the court, he had so much knowledge and wisdom that all you can do is, get understanding. And, he was a big teacher. With me, it was more of a mental approach because he knew I had all the physical capabilities. But he knew that mentally I needed some development. So he really took the time out, got to know me. We bumped heads, but at the end of the day, we had a common goal, and we saw eye to eye when it mattered the most.
What was one of those? Can you tell us about maybe one of those things that you bumped heads on that maybe you thought was your philosophy, maybe didn't match his, and how you guys found that common ground?
Well, obviously, I was a little immature, obviously, but I think that it was our competitive nature that caused those moments. And once we talked it out and hung out and communicated with each other, we got on the same page.
We're chatting with Salim Stoudemire, Arizona guard, 2005. Salim, this has become such a I mean, basketball as a whole has become such a shooter's game right now, and it's amazing when we look back. We were kind of talking about the 3-point records, and your name is obviously still back there at the top of the record book. How did that become such an important part of your game?
Well, I always tell people this. Growing up, I did play in the playground, so I was outside a lot. But I also had access to gyms that had an NBA three-point line. And this was from the time where I was really young. So that wasn't a deep shot to me. I always practiced that shot. So a deep shot to me was shooting behind that line. So when I see guys shooting from the logo and things of that nature, I'm like, hey, I've been doing this. But it was because of the environment I grew up in. I was always around pros. I had Damon who was around me. The Portland Trailblazers were always around. So I just, I'm blessed. And, I just want to, give what I've been taught to the younger generations coming up.
You obviously talk about your cousin. You mentioned your cousin Damon there. How influential was he in your decision to come to University of Arizona?
Well, when I used to go watch them when they would play Oregon and Oregon State, I would talk to, certain people from the program, and they would say, so when you come here, and then seeing what Damon did, and then just being able to connect with the people who work for the program, it was nothing but positivity and loving, caring energy. And I just wanted to be a part of that.
When you look at an event like this Ludos and Fantasy Camp and being around these guys that love this program, what do you feel like your role is this weekend? I mean, what do you want to impart on these guys that are there to have fun and to play hoops and to learn from you guys?
Well, first it's just getting to know them on a human being level, just a personal level. It's not even about basketball at first. The initial is getting to know you as a human being, seeing where we connect and where we can grow. And hopefully we can have a lifetime bond after the whole event.
There you go. There you go. But in terms of the other guys that are going to be there this weekend, obviously, Joe Turner, Pete Williams, Matt Muehlbach, all those guys. Who are you most looking forward to kind of reconnecting with this weekend?
All of them, because they are the ones that paved the way. We wouldn't have been able to do what we did without having those guys do it first. And they always embrace us. And it's just a good overall feeling just to be around guys that experience the same things that you experience.
Take me back to that game in the I believe it was the Elite Eight or Sweet 16 when you hit the shot to beat Oklahoma State. Give us the breakdown on how that play came together.
Well, I knew I wanted the ball, but Channing was also having, a good contest that night, so I wanted to involve him as well in case they tried to double me, and then I could have passed him the ball, and I was very confident that he would have hit the shot as well. But then it was interesting because we had a guy named Chris Rogers who was actually in the left corner in our way. So if you go back and look at the clip, you can see me wave him off, and then Luke seconds that emotion and tells him to go through to the other side, which cleared the path for me to reject the screen and then pull up for the jumper because I knew they were going to double team me.
Salim Stoudemire is our guest, Arizona Wildcats basketball class of 2005. I mean, you talk about that team, and you mentioned Channing and all the guys that on that team, including yourself, who got a chance to play in the league. What was that dynamic like in the locker room that year as you guys were making that run to the Elite Eight?
We were very close in the team, but we knew that was important. During those moments of struggle, just being, connected with guys can push you through and get you over the hump. So I have vivid memories that will never fade away, and I still keep in contact with most of those guys from the team.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about all the different dynamics. I mean, you and Chris Rogers from Portland, and Juwan was from Houston, and Isaiah and Hassan were from Southern California, and Mustafa was from Philly. There was guys from all over the country playing on that team.
But that's what basketball does.
Yeah.
It brings you together. You know, you can come from different walks of life, different parts of the world. We had Ivan Radinovic, who was from Serbia. But once that ball goes up, hey, we're connected because it's all the same.
If you had to go back and change one thing about what happened down the stretch against Illinois, what would that be?
If I had one thing to change down the stretch against Illinois, I think everybody knows that answer. But I will say this. I'm not mad that Hassan Adams took the shot. I believed in him. He tightened up a little bit, but I think that was a good experience for him, and I wouldn't change it.
When you look back at your professional career, maybe not the NBA longevity that you had hoped for, but what did you take away from your experiences getting a chance to play in those different pro basketball environments?
The NBA was everything to me. I was having a conversation with some people at the barbershop the other day. They were asking me about my experience. I was like, hey, I got to play against Kobe. You know, I got to play against Allen Iverson, Stephon Marbury. I actually got to play against my cousin Damon twice. So I will always hold on to those memories. And, you know, you have dreams and aspirations of reaching a goal. And I did that. So I'm not bitter about anything. And right now I'm focused on giving back to the next generations that have came and are going to continue to come after me, and share that knowledge and not keep it to myself.
Where's your home base, and how are you doing that in terms of giving back to the next generation?
I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and I just started getting into player development / mentorship.
You have your own, like, is it AAU or your own little club team, or what is that exactly?
No, for instance, about 3 weeks ago, I worked out a player from the Denver Nuggets named KJ Simpson.
Okay, yeah, so KJ.
Yeah, he's a good kid. So I'm just looking to, you know, connect with the younger generation and give back as much as I can.
There you go.
I like to keep it NBA, but I'm willing to do college, and I just want people that are serious.
There you go. So what's your philosophy? What are you telling guys like KJ Simpson, who obviously played college at a high level? I mean, what are you trying to impart on them about how they maybe pieces they need to add to be successful at that next level?
First of all, how to stay in the league. Be aware of all the political, you know, things that come along with basketball. And as far as the skill, that's easy. But to me, the number one thing that allows me to give back is to develop that human connection and not make it about basketball at first. Because once these kids understand that you care about them and you're interested in getting to know them, then they allow you to coach them.
There you go. Salim Stoudemire, one of the best to ever do it here at the University of Arizona. His three-point shooting prowess continues to amass the record books here at the University of Arizona. Salim, I think I got my guy J-Dub has a question for you.
Hey, Salim, how's it going? We all got a lot of fond memories of 25-footers in McHale from that Cactus logo, and I'm just wondering what you felt like going back into the building and seeing them return the Cactus logo to the floor, and have you shot one from out there yet since you've been back in town?
I have not. I actually just got in, and then last year when I went over there, they didn't have the baskets up, so I couldn't shoot around. So hopefully they'll have them there this year where I can, you know, reconnect with some energy and some memories and get some shots up. But I will say, shout out to Steve Kerr, who was the original flamethrower.
Yeah.
People always like to mention me, but I have to big up Steve Kerr, who was the original.
There's no question about that.
I'm old enough, Salim, to have seen Steve Kerr hit a 25-footer before the three-point line when in the game. Yeah, he had no fear from out there for sure.
Absolutely.
Still the two guys at the top of the three-point chart, Steve Kerr and Salim Stoudemire. We'll see if anybody – we've had some guys come close in terms of that type of three-point shooting prowess, Caleb Love, in recent years. But those two old school dudes still sitting up there at the top of the record books.
They might have to come to us to get the secret sauce.
Ah, there you go. There you go. Hey, Salim, enjoy the weekend. We appreciate you taking some time.
Thank you. No problem. I enjoy this.
Salim Stoudemire, U of A basketball class of 2005. Dragon Ball is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
Dragon Ball here with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. We do have that I-10 Kino to Alvernon work still going on with Country Club Road under the I-10 closed for the year for widening work. It should be back open, though, in the summer of 2026. And we still have some road work impacting traffic at the intersection of Ahaway and Kino Parkway, but that should be done by 2027. Still at 108 right now. We'll be at 109 as your high for this weekend here coming up on Saturday. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic.
This report is sponsored by My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Never wait to see your family doctor again. And My Doctor Now, you don't need to take time off work or even schedule ahead. Open 7 days a week. It's your family doctor. Available same day, every day, guaranteed. Go to My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
We bring you all the news and stories of your Arizona Wildcats. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Wildcats Radio 1290 for the latest highlights and commentary. Your home for U of A athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Speeding catches up with you, paid for by NHTSA. National champion winning head coach of the Indiana Hoosiers, Curt Cignetti, took shots yesterday at the SEC during his presser at Big Ten Media Day. But we don't run a hype machine up here in the Midwest. And when we fall short, we don't cry a river, whine, and complain. The Hoosiers have the fourth best odds to win the national championship this year. They're behind favorites Ohio State, then Notre Dame, and Texas. I'm Adam Abdallah.
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
At O'Reilly Chevrolet, we've been helping Tucson drivers find their perfect vehicle at just the right price for generations. During our July summer sales event, it's a great time to upgrade to a truck built to handle work, play, and everything in between. Right now, get up to $10,500 off the 2026 Silverado Custom Trail Boss 4x4. We're the dealership that's been giving you more since 1924. Find us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Oh my gosh, Ted, why are you digging up the yard?
I'm looking for that stupid pipe. The bathroom drain is still clogged.
Shouldn't we call Goodfellas AC and Plumbing? You know, the professionals.
I found the pipe.
Whatever clogs your drains, leave it to the professionals at Goodfellas AC and Plumbing. The choice your family can count on for quick, reliable plumbing service using Permaliner to fix pipes and drains without digging up the yard. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000. Use code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Paid for by Action Matters.
Attention anyone who has had a colonoscopy, endoscopy, or any other scope procedure. If you or a loved one developed a serious infection or health complication after a scope procedure, you may be entitled to significant cash compensation. Dangerous infections have been reported across the country linked to Olympus endoscopes. Olympus scopes may have been defectively designed, and manufacturer instructions may not have been adequate in enabling proper disinfection, putting patients' health at risk. If you or a loved one were hospitalized for a bacterial infection within 90 days of a scope procedure or developed sepsis, organ failure, HIV, tuberculosis, an antibiotic-resistant superbug, or another serious complication following a scope procedure, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Call now to find out if you qualify, but hurry. Time to file a claim could be limited.
Call 800-891-1857 now to see if you qualify. That's 800-891-1857. 800-891-1857.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Is the most powerful hitter in Major League Baseball right now an Arizona Wildcat?
For Daniel Suzak. He hits a high drive. Left field. It is out of here. He might catch him tonight.
Daniel Suzak hit another home run last night in San Diego to start a weekend series for the Giants against the Padres.
No home runs in his first, 35? And then three in his last two?
He did not hit a home run in his first 44 Major League games. He now has hit 3 in the past 2 games. That was a 2-run shot last night as the Giants beat the flailing Padres by a score of 4-1. How about that? Entered Wednesday's game against the Brewers. He was in a 4-for-36 slide. Then he hit his first 2 homers, making him the first San Francisco Giants player to belt his first 2 homers in the same. These are first 2 big league homers. His first 2 big league homers in the same game since pitcher Jim Gott did it on May the 12th, 1985. Gott only hit 4 career home runs as primarily a pitcher in 11 seasons. How about that for Daniel Suzak, again, who did not begin the season as the Giants starter. He was behind Patrick Bailey, who the Giants promptly traded to Cleveland, and he has had the job since then. He went 11 for 23 in his first 11 games.
Hence the trade, right?
Right, but then kind of slumped. He's had a little bit of a back situation going on as well this season that has cost him some time on the injured list. But manager Tony Vitello said he wants to see Daniel Suzak swing the bat with the kind of conviction he displayed in college at Arizona and during his journey through the minor leagues. He certainly has the potential to be, I don't know if he's going to be a guy that hits 30 home runs a year, but, there's no reason that Daniel Suzak couldn't be, I like to say, a 20-75 guy as a catcher, hit 20 home runs, 7 drive-ins, 75 runs every year. He certainly can be that type of guy if he finds his and back. Those back injuries, man, those can be so debilitating. But if you're right, if you're feeling right, and you can get that torque, we can begin to see a lot of what we've seen.
And especially
the last
at what?
2 games from him.
He's like 6'5", 210, 220. So, I mean, at 6'5", DK, that's a pretty rare to have a catcher be that tall. So back injury, when you're always crouched down like that, it could obviously extend that kind of thing. So got to get healthy first before you can get that torque.
No question about that. All right, I want to give you your Westwood on Top play because it's another tennis play, and it's a match that starts at the top of the hour. And I learned as I was looking at these matches yesterday, they take these off the board about 3 minutes before the match is supposed to start. So if it is starting on time, and I'll look that up. But let's hear. We've got another one from our guy, Pat Boyle.
Pat Boyle here to help you beat the books at Westwood One Sports. The lead up to the U.S. Open continues with the quarterfinals in D.C., and I think top-ranked American Ben Shelton will again have his hands full. He's playing a third straight lefty in Alejandro Tabilo, whose serve will be a challenge for Shelton. Ben has gone the distance in both matches this week, and I think we see that again tonight. Lefty on lefty, both are strong servers. I'll take the over, 22.5 games. I'm Pat Boyle. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
All right, so we've actually got some time because, again, these tournaments sometimes will run long. It was supposed to start at 5. It is showing now that it's probably not going to start till closer to around 5:30 now. So you've got some time to go bet this one if you so choose. Again, Ben Shelton and Alejandro Tabilo. Now, so this is the second Ben Shelton play that we've had in a row from Pat Boyle, who has now given us 4. This will be our 4th tennis play of the week. We lost the first one with Marco Heron and Cruz Hewitt over 19.5 games, and that one came in at 19. So we lost that one, but not by a lot. Then we had Rafael Yador over Kai Nishikori on the win line, 4.5, more than 4.5 games. He won by 7. He won 6-3, 6-2, so 12-5. So we won on that one. Then yesterday we had Ben Shelton to win by more than 1.5 games, and Ben did that. He lost the first set 6-7, but he won the next 2 sets 6-4, 6-3. So that ended up being 18 games won to 14 games won, so +4 on an over 1.5 bet there for Ben Shelton. So we won on Ben Shelton there last night as well. So we'll take Ben Shelton again today at over 19.5 games total. So let me see what the line. I got to see if I didn't look up the line beforehand on that. So I may have to come back and tell you what that is. But a 4th tennis play in a row as we get, like the man said, Pat Boyle, we get the run-up to the U.S. Open, which is going to be starting at the end of the month.
How many NFL in a row are we going to get here 3 weeks from now?
Well, maybe hopefully they'll mix in 1 or 2 of the baseball games, so we're not just.
You've been asking for
games.
it.
I've been trying for sure. So I'm trying to see games. We're total games, okay, and that's total games set 1. I'm looking for total games in the match. Okay, so here we go. Over 19.5. That one actually is not even on the list here. I've got the low I've got is over 23.5. So I wonder if this line has really moved since earlier. So if we took the over 24.5, that would be at -125. Over 25.5 at -110. So we'll have to decide which one of those we want to take. But we got some time because the game does not start, or the match looks like it will not start till probably around 5:45 now. All right, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. So, hey, we'll see we'll come back next week and see how we did on our tennis bets because, we don't get a chance to do that very often. Kind of cool. We're getting some tennis plays right there. All right, coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, we are anticipating hopefully a chance to let you hear from Tommy Lloyd, his thoughts after the practice today. It did go long. We have not gotten that press conference as of yet, but we'll hopefully give you a chance to hear what Tommy had to say. Again, the guys looked good, a lot of enthusiasm out there. The thing I liked about it is, and we hear so much about it. It's interesting. I was driving back from campus, and I was listening to Jim Rome, and he was talking to somebody about college football. I think it was Jeff Schwartz, who played at Oregon. He was talking to him about how do you build camaraderie when you've got a roster with 60 new guys.
Right.
And so it's very similar, obviously, a lot of times in college basketball.
Ask the Oklahoma State Cowboy football coaches that question.
Right, exactly. I mean, you look out there and you see a lot. You lost some guys off that team, obviously, last year. Guys that got drafted, guys that graduated out and whatnot. So there's a lot of new faces. And it's cool because you see a lot of the smacking of the hands going on during the drills. Guys are getting done with drills. They're dapping each other up. That's what you like to see. That's that type of connection with the guys when they're out there going through these drills, working hard, making sure you're picking up your brother and all of that kind of thing. I really enjoy seeing that at this point of the year.
And we heard a lot of stories last year about Uno and all these other, off the court kind of things. But I'll tell you this much, DK. When a new coach comes to a program, it takes 3 or 4 years for the true system to be implemented because you get your freshmen in, they are there for 2 or 3, 4 years. By the time they're juniors and seniors, DK, they're also teaching the newcomers what the system is, what the coaches expect. So there's a level of the veteran players on the roster. And think about what happened last year. You had Koa Pete and Braden Burries coming into a system that already had 3 players in the starting lineup, 3 players, 2 rotation players who had been on campus for 2 or 3 years. And so they could already, Del Orso's case, 2 years, and obviously in JB and Tobe Awaka's case, longer. But that's the difference this year, is that you're talking about, some guys, Mateus Krivas has been around, but, Ivan Karchenkov's going to be asked to be one of the veteran leaders. He was here for 1 year. But that system, it's like a self-perpetuating cycle. The guys who were here last year learned from those veterans. They know exactly what it takes and what it takes and what's expected. And as far as those guys bonding, any newcomer, DK, only has to look at a single press conference that any player gave last year, and all they ever talked about was how glowingly, the players all got along with each other off the court, and you could see how well they got along by the way they played with each other on the court. No ego, passing up a good shot to get a great shot, that whole thing, and that's baked into the culture of the Arizona basketball program and what Coach Lloyd expects from his players. So this is the time for those guys to learn that. If they came in with the attitude of, I'm going to get up some shots, well, that might not be the case. You just got to make sure that you follow what the older players are doing and listen to the coaches.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Give us a call. Give us a text. Let us know how you're feeling about Arizona basketball at this point of the year as they get ready to go to Lithuania.
I do have some good news.
Oh, good news.
Coach Tommy Lloyd's presser is up.
Okay, so we'll let you hear from the head coach when we come back as well. Dragon Ball will be there in the second hour as well. More about what's happening in Southern Arizona this weekend. It is DK on the Sports Tip. You are listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Dragon Ball here with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. We do have a 6-lane widening project still impacting traffic along Valencia Road from the east of Colm to the west of Houghton Road. Crews out there till about 6 p.m. today, but there will be some nighttime and weekend work when necessary. We'll hope to have the project done by 2026. Meanwhile, we have that weather still at 108, not getting any cool down until about 5:30 or so until we get to about 106 by 6 o'clock. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Staples. All right, it's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Congrats to Tommy Lloyd and your Arizona Wildcats on a historic season.
Braden Smith will not foul him. Wildcats headed to their 5th Final Four.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just one dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000. Use code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000.
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
There are many reasons you might need Dorado Rockin' Materials. A few bare spots in the yard, the driveway needs filling in, or it could be that the yard needs a whole makeover. Whatever the reason, if your yard has the summertime blues, Dorado Rockin' Materials has everything from sand to boulders and every rock and pebble in between. If you need help spreading it, we have options for that too. Call 400-4233. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
American Red Cross inventories of the most needed blood types are days away from crisis levels. Help make sure patients receive life-saving medical treatments. Make your appointment to donate. Use the Blood Donor app. Visit redcrossblood.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to schedule your donation.
Nobody covers your cats like we do. We are the home of your Arizona Wildcats. KCUP Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at iccu.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, final hour of our show on this Friday. So glad you could be with us. Want to hear from you. 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. I want to give you our question of the day from yesterday. The voting in that is final now. And our question yesterday was about the WNBA. Is Kathy Engelbert still going to be commissioner of that league come next season? 100% of the voters said no on that one. That Kathy's on her way out as leader of the WNBA after making a lot of people upset and several missteps this year. We'll kind of see how that works because she has been the commissioner for quite a long time.
You think the head of officials of the WNBA might join her? Maybe?
You never know. You want to be commissioner of a league?
No, it's just the biggest issue I think most fans are getting a little tired of is the physicality allowed in the first and second quarter that leads to extracurriculars later. So you just kind of got to take care of those things and manage the game a little bit better.
We've got some breaking news to talk about here at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. Breaking news. A judge in Colorado, U.S. District Court, Colorado, by the name of Charlotee Sweeney, U.S. District Judge, has granted a class-wide preliminary injunction that requires the NCAA to declare eligible all high school class of 2022 athletes who exhausted 4 seasons of eligibility this spring. Now, you'll know that there's a ton of athletes who have filed injunctions and lawsuits and across
Kirk
a
Creason
lot
was one of those
the
guys, I'm pretty
sports,
sure.
Yeah, because again, we're getting into this new 5-and-5 rule. Basically, what she said is that all persons in the United States who began to play in collegiate sports in the 22-23 season competed in NCAA Division I sports and completed 4 years of eligibility as defined by the NCAA's prior rules by the conclusion of the 2025-26 season and are therefore barred from playing a 5th season due to the NCAA's adoption and immediate implementation of the 5-year eligibility rule.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is interesting because, again, my understanding was that even though we have this 5 for 5, you still can only play. It doesn't mean you can play 5 years. My understanding is that you can only play 4 still.
No. They've made it so you can play 5 if you do it in 5 years. That's the new rule. It's 5-and-5. So you can actually play 5 full seasons in college athletics moving forward, starting now in this year, which is why this injunction by Charlotee Sweeney logically makes a little bit of sense. If you were a senior in 2022 and you graduated this last year,
right?
Well, everybody else starting this fall will have 5 years of playing eligibility available to them. Well, that should include the people who just graduated. If the rule goes into effect this fall, that should apply to people who were 4-year seniors last year. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, the big problem is judges getting involved. Once again, we just went through this with Sorsby, and I'm sure this isn't the last we'll hear about it, probably even today or this weekend. But the argument was made. They started filing class action lawsuits the day that they passed the 5-and-5 rule. So that, and it was all from 2022 seniors in high school. High school seniors in 2022 would be in their 5th year of eligibility this season. And so that's the question is, if this is the new rule, why not us too?
It is very confusing because, like I said, my understanding was you would still be held to 4 years. But because again, when you talk about, you talk about if that's the case, we were talking earlier in the week, and somebody had told me that there was a possibility that a kid like Ishmael Mahdi, who only played 4 seasons of college football, he played 1 year here at U of A. He played 2 years at Texas State, and he played a year at, I believe, Houston, a Christian school down in Houston. He could potentially be able to play this season.
Yeah, we just got done talking about Tobe Awaka and Anthony Delorso. I don't know about a red shirt. I would have to go back and look at Tennessee for Tobe, but that would apply for anybody who just graduated last year. From now on, everybody who enrolls in college as an athlete has the potential of playing 5 seasons. It used to be the old redshirt rule where you could redshirt and play 4 and 5, but now they've just made it really simple, and it's also based on the age and whatnot, but 5-and-5 out of high school is that new rule.
Very interesting. I don't necessarily get the ability to play 5 years. I still think it should be capped at 4. You should be able to just play 4 years. But
remember a couple years back when a COVID kid played his 6th year and he was flirting with breaking.
COVID was way different.
I think it was from Detroit.
There was a lot of extra stuff that went on during
Detroit
COVID.
Mercy, right? Like I think he was on the brink of breaking the all-time men's NCAA scoring record. Obviously broken by Caitlin Clark after the fact. But that's the idea of a lot of those guys who were a part of that COVID extra year of eligibility. That was the same thing. They all got 5 years, and now they just make it a blanket thing. As long as you enroll in school and start your athletic process as a freshman, then you do have the ability. And so you just got to throw all the rule books out, right?
So 5 seasons of competition in 5 years of eligibility.
Yep. Like I remember when Sean Elliott broke Lou Alcindor's Pac-10 scoring record, and it was great. It was a monumental moment for the University of Arizona. And back when Kareem, Lou Alcindor at the time, played, freshmen weren't eligible. So you could only play sophomore eligibility through senior year. And so, the amount of points you could put up in 3 years, not quite the same as 4. And now, DK, we're going to have to throw the record books out because some freshman is enrolling in school this fall as a running back or quarterback or as a basketball player who potentially could go on to a 5-year career that could shatter some records because they're going to have those extra games right out of the gate as long as they're there for 5 years. Now, somebody who's that talented probably is going to go on to professional sports before they complete their 5 years, but that's the landscape now is everybody can play 5 years as long as you start right away.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. So, so in the case of Ishmael Mahdi, he might have to put the barbecue joint on hold and play another season for U of A in the backfield. I'd take him back for another year. Back there with his old buddy Kendrick Reesano and company.
The sound you hear right now is millions of phones ringing from athletic directors and coordinators and NAL people to maybe anybody who just left campus and doesn't already have a contract with professional sports. I mean, if this is going to stand, there's a whole lot of players now late in the process. A lot of rosters have been finalized, but I would not be surprised.
Those are some difficult decisions for coaches.
Well, think about last year, right? With like the whole thing in Nate Oates in Alabama. They had, was it Bidiaku came back halfway through the season. There's just been a mess of eligibility. Are they eligible? Are they not eligible? And that's been going on now for a couple of years now. But with this new 5-and-5 rule, and if this judge does pass and it stays, as a, hey, anybody in 2022 high school class, come on back, then we could see a lot of big names potentially come back to college.
Very interesting times we are living in here, for sure. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Now, I do want to touch on something we kind of talked about. We didn't talk about it on the air, J-Dub, but we talked about it kind of off the air, is the situation involving the Kawhi Leonard trade from the Clippers to back to the Toronto Raptors. And that has not actually been completed and gone through yet. And unfortunately, because of that, that's kind of affecting Arizona Wildcat big man Benedict Mathurin, who is obviously was traded to the Clippers last year from the Indiana Pacers at the trade deadline because the Clippers really are kind of handcuffed from doing business right now until they figure out whether or not the league is going to sign off on this Kawhi Leonard trade.
Yeah, if people don't know the story, Kawhi Leonard came to the Clippers from Toronto after the famous shot that he made in the championship. They got up there for the Raptors. And, Steve Ballmer is by far the most wealthy owner in pro sports. I mean, he's like the 8th richest person in the world or something like that, right? Well, there's a story that went out about a year and a half ago about a company called, Aspiration, I think it's called, and where potentially they could have cut a side deal with Kawhi Leonard where he could have been earning upwards of $15 million a year extra, subverting the salary cap, right? And what we know about the new modern CBA is if you go over that second apron, there's a chance that you could lose the ability to draft players. You can lose the ability to sign free agents. It's no longer that Lakem thing up in Golden State where we're happy to go $100 million over the cap because we're just going to pay taxes and we have a lot of money. It starts to detrimentally affect your organization, right? Well, this Aspiration case, they've apparently wrapped up the investigation, but they have yet to come to a determination. And what's happened is, Kawhi is now back with Toronto as of today. But if they find that the Clippers were at fault, they could void that trade. So Kawhi could be back with the Clippers. And as a result, our guy, Benedict Mathurin, who's a restricted free agent, I haven't heard any word about movement on that because I think the Clippers are literally waiting to see what happens with the Kawhi situation because not only could they have Kawhi back, DK, if that's the ruling, there's going to be fines and penalties through the roof for Ballmer and the Clippers because that's subverting the salary cap, paying a player under the table off the books. Kind of the worst thing you could do as ownership of a professional organization where everybody's supposed to be on the same level playing field. So we don't really know what Benedict Mathurin, now as a restricted free agent, other teams, the Clippers can match any other offer. That's the situation that Ben Mathurin's in. But I haven't seen any movement on that because they're still waiting to see what happens in Toronto and whether or not Kawhi will be back in LA.
So hopefully we can get that whole thing settled here in the near future. Hard to do business. I mean, we thought we were waiting on LeBron to figure out where he's going. Now we're waiting on this whole thing with trying to circumvent caps and apparently he owns part of a soccer team now, and Rhode Island bought into that as well, and that's kind of part of the story as well. So there's a lot going on.
Just to put a bow on that, as of a couple days ago, a report came out that this could extend into the 27th
season.
Yeah, it could go for another 3 or 4 months. And as we all know, the basketball season will have started long before that.
So then, in all likelihood, he stays in LA then.
Well, I mean, you can't sign a contract. Like, they're not allowing the trade to go through.
Yeah.
It's in limbo right now. So fifth-year players from 2020. Did you hear this, Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
They just passed a judge in Colorado 15, 20 minutes ago, just gave a stay on the ruling of 5 and 5 because all of those seniors from the 2022 high school class sued. Well, how come we don't get 5 years of eligibility?
Right.
So as of today, Anthony Delorso and Tobe Awaka and all those guys would be eligible for a 5th year. A judge in Colorado just announced that about 20 minutes ago.
Well, we'll have to wait and see who all jumps on the bandwagon on that one. And then the other part of it also with the Kawhi Leonard discussion you guys just had, let's not forget, I mean, this is very unprecedented. Who's to say that, maybe Adam Silver decides to put them on some kind of an exemption list for the players that are all involved in that trade? I mean, who knows? Because if you're in a position where, again, he's still under the contract, that's under investigation, under the scrutiny. So if he's under contract based on those numbers, can you let him play? Can you actually let him play on the court considering that situation? So who knows? There might even be a new exemption list that comes out of this. But again, that's hyperbole. That's not me knowing anything or anything. That's just me saying this is a new ground. I've never heard of something like this before. So we'll have to wait and see what Silver decides to do with it.
All right, 520-848-1290 if you have any thoughts on that. Dragon Ball is here. What's happening in southern Arizona this weekend, Dragon Ball? What's up weekend?
Well, you went ahead and you took the Beyond 30 get-together over at Hotel Congress.
If you have an extra ticket to Beyond 30, I'd like to go. So maybe, hang out with DK at Beyond 30 opportunity for you right now, 520-848-1290 if you have an extra ticket for me.
But if you'd rather something a little bit quieter on Saturday at 7:30, if you go up to Mount Lemon Lodge, there's going to be the Summer Milky Way and a Rising Moon stargazing event. They're going to have
the temperature supposed to be up there.
It's going to be a lot cooler than the 109 that's going to be the high tomorrow. I can tell you that for free. You get to spend the night gazing up at the stars right atop Mount Lemon there. And then if you would still rather be around music, go over to the Fox Theater Sunday, 7 o'clock. One night of Queen show with Gary Mullen and the Works. They're going to go ahead and have their cover band that plays the greatest hits of Queen. Go ahead and check that out. $38 to go in and get a ticket at the Fox Theater to go and see that show.
That's what all of the like throwback bands come to the Fox.
Oh yeah,
that's kind of their thing down there. So what do you got going on?
I've got, I think my cousin's got a big birthday celebration tomorrow. I got to take care of that. And then I'm back on the country station on Sunday.
All right. My wife's out of town. That's why I'm looking for stuff to do. I got nothing to do this weekend. I got to figure out what I'm going to do and who I'm going to hang out with. So
you're going to watch the basketball tournament final on Sunday. I
might go down. Yeah, the basketball tournament final is Gabe York is playing for $2 million. He can become the latest Wildcat to win that, following in Kyle Fogg's footsteps. He won it, I think, a couple times with overseas.
Yeah, I think two or three at least. Yeah.
At least two that I remember.
Yeah, two.
He was MVP too, several times. Yeah.
2 for sure. So yeah, that I might try to get over to the Sporting Chance Center and check out some of the fantasy camp tomorrow as well. And I don't know, it's a little bit hot. I don't know if I'm going to go to the pool and see what the Wasps. My wife says you should go to the pool and get an update on the Wasp situation there. So because we complained about that at our HOA meeting. All right, Dragon Ball, have a great weekend. He's getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s, traffic and weather.
Well, first things first, we got a traffic incident with unknown injuries right now, slowing things down mightily at Old Spanish Trail, South Old Spanish Trail and East Escalante Road. Escalante seeing majority of the slowdown when you get to the cross street there. And a hazard causing a lot of backup right now at East Tangerine Road and North First Avenue. Do be aware of this. Try to avoid this intersection if you can. There was a lot of red on the radar when I was looking at this earlier. Meanwhile, for your weather, still at 108, and it's going to stay at 108 until we get closer and closer to the sundown time. Again, we're looking at about 106 here at 6 o'clock. I'm Dragon Ball with you, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. At some point, body pain may creep in and become your reality that day. But Aleve is here to keep you moving. One pill gives you up to 12 hours of body pain relief. So don't let pain hold you back. Try Aleve today. Use as directed.
Did you hear what we're talking about?
Can the Mets turn this thing, or do your dad, Dragon Ball, have any faith in this?
No. My dad gave up about 2 months ago. Gotta believe, but only when it's believable to believe.
DK on the Sports Tip. Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m.
He's kind and he's funny and he's also mustachioed. He solves all your problems by the end of every episode. TV Dad. Everyone loves TV Dad. TV Dad. Unlike your real dad, he never hollers. And he tells you how Progressive can save you lots of dollars.
Listen to your TV Dad. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. The Indiana Fever are in a groove thanks to their high-powered offense. The backcourt duo of Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell are two of the WNBA's top scorers, combining for 60 points in a 105-95 road victory over the Seattle Storm Tuesday. That's 4 straight wins for Indy, now sitting at 18-10 on the season. The Fever's potent offense averages just under 96 points per game, the most in the league. They've hit the century mark in each game of the streak, so naturally, head coach Stephanie White is focused on shoring up the other side of the ball.
You know, it's kind of ironic being a defensive-oriented coach because I didn't play a lot of defense when I was a player. You know, certainly understanding and knowing what it's going to take for us on that end to accomplish the things that we want to accomplish.
The Fever can grab their 5th win in a row tonight when they visit the Portland Fire. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Amy Lawrence on Westwood One.
Knock, knock, Capital One Bank guy.
Wow, Charles Barkley?
I just moved into the neighborhood. Can I borrow some Wi-Fi?
Sure, Chuck. That's what the Capital One Cafe is here for, open 7 days a week.
Oh, can I use your ATM? My dog Walker only takes cash.
Anything for a neighbor.
Can I try the catchphrase?
Sure, take it for a spin.
There's no fees and minimums on Capital One checking accounts.
Nice, Chuck. I'll take it from here. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Visit CapitalOne.com/bankguide for details. Capital One and a member FDIC.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
This summer, there are 250 reasons to join T-Mobile.
Girls trip? Booked. And switching to T-Mobile helped make it happen.
With Experience Beyond, switch and get $100 back. Plus, $650 in value in built-in plan benefits. That's $750 in your first year, guaranteed.
And honestly, that $100 back, I'm putting it towards the zip line.
Now that's how you do summer.
Exactly. Best switch I ever made.
This is just one reason to join T-Mobile this summer. There are 250 reasons. Find yours.
Savings based on the value of benefits included with Experience Beyond, like entertainment and 1 year of AAA Classic and Dash Pass on us. Benefits may require activation. See plan for details. Get $100 via virtual prepaid MasterCard with eligible ported, no cash access, and expires in 6 months. Issued by Sunrise Banks, N.A. member FDIC. Allow 8 weeks.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. America's Big 250 starts this month. Did you know Tucson's first Presidio is 250 plus? If you're not careful, you can still experience those original dirt roads crossing town in the bottom of wagon wheel busts and suspension slaying potholes. It's why Arizona drivers count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care to protect their tires and suspension for life with Jack's Plus Pack. Every passenger and light truck tire we install comes with a free alignment check and 12 additional services, including professional installation and lifetime tire maintenance. If you're shopping around, Jack's got you covered with major brands and budget-friendly tire options. Compare Jack's total installed price. Backed by our low price promise, we've got you covered completely through both our seasons, monsoon and road construction. Check out Jack's Plus Pack, a $249 value at jackfurriers.com. So make an appointment online, call ahead, or just stop by any of our 14 award-winning locations. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000. Use code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Paid for by Action Matters.
Attention anyone who has had a colonoscopy, endoscopy, or any other scope procedure. If you or a loved one developed a serious infection or health complication after a scope procedure, you may be entitled to significant cash compensation. Dangerous infections have been reported across the country linked to Olympus endoscopes. Olympus scopes may have been defectively designed, and manufacturer instructions may not have been adequate in enabling proper disinfection, putting patients' health at risk. If you or a loved one were hospitalized for a bacterial infection within 90 days of a scope procedure, or developed sepsis, organ failure, HIV, tuberculosis, an antibiotic-resistant superbug, or another serious complication following a scope procedure, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Call now to find out if you qualify, but hurry. Time to file a claim could be limited.
Call 800-891-1857 now to see if you qualify. That's 800-891-1857. 800-891-1857.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, let's hear from the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats basketball team, Tommy Lloyd. Had a chance to get out and watch the fellas practice today. Open practice, open workout, heading to Lithuania here in a couple weeks. So the guys on their overseas trip. Tommy talked about that. Imagine a whole lot more this afternoon.
All right, guys. Well, hey, it's good to see you guys. It's been a minute. I'm probably a little rusty at this stuff. A little out of practice, but it's great being in a gym full of people, including you guys, and with our players and our managers and our staff, and some former players here. I mean, it's a ton of fun being in a gym. It's got great energy, and we've had a good summer so far. I think everybody in coaching says that. I mean, hopefully you haven't had a bad summer, but we're excited. We're excited for what we build towards, and we know there's a long road to go, but we love the process. It's great. I mean, for me, I guess within reason, I'll take all the time I can get. Like I said, we love playing basketball. We love being on the court together, and we love trying to figure it out. I mean, I'm taking the approach. I know it's going to be a long season. We've actually, already done a lot this summer, and we still have a lot more to go. Of kind of like focusing more on getting our guys playing 5-on-5 rather than kind of breaking down all the details. And what we're obviously going to play some really good teams on this trip. So we want to be prepared to play some 5-on-5 basketball and get a feel for that. And then when we get back in September, we'll kind of analyze where we're at and kind of maybe break things down to the details and do a lot more kind of early teaching and kind of the basics in September. But for right now, we're kind of looking at more big picture and approaching it like that.
What are the goals for the games when you're out there?
I mean, the number one goal is to kickstart your culture and spend time together and kind of, our journey starts now, and every team has its own journey, and making sure that's clear. Last year has nothing to do with this year, and the year in the future has nothing to do with what we're trying to do this year. So just kind of understanding that and start this group's experience. We want to have a great experience as a group. And we're excited. We're open-minded heading over to Europe, and maybe some guys haven't been there, maybe some guys are from there, and kind of just sharing that together is kind of the number one goal for me. And then number two is, play some really good teams and get some great reps and get some good film and have some guys, have positive experiences and some negative experiences, but just learn from both of them.
What do you know about constructing this year's roster?
Well, I mean, I think the first thing is, you want to, it kind of sometimes works in a reverse order where you're recruiting some of your young high school kids first before you know totally how things are going to look. And obviously we feel good about, the high school kids that we were able to bring in both, domestically and internationally. And then, what veterans can you get back off the team before? And then from there, once you kind of have an idea there, you kind of, fill in the gaps with some transfers. And like we feel like we were successful in all three areas. And like I said, now it's about putting it together. And put it together and not having no assumptions. And our number one thing is building a great foundation that's going to allow us to be hopefully opportunistic, and when we compete and take advantage of certain moments in games and make those runs and things we like to do, but also build a culture that's strong enough to kind of withstand some tough times, and maybe a tough loss, a tough segment of game, a tough call, whatever it be. So that's kind of our focus right now after we put this thing together.
Kickstart the culture. How have you seen Noel and Yvonne really kind of help the new guys just get acclimated to the culture?
Yeah, for sure. They're doing a great job, but we haven't asked them to do too much yet. We're kind of just getting a feel for each other, and I want them organically to step into those roles, and they will, and they have. But like the team's culture is kind of just kickstarts fresh for everyone. And so organically, you kind of have to let it play out. And then over time, we'll drive some conversations. And then once we start driving conversations, those guys will be a big part of how we communicate and what our standards are and what our values are and what we want our identity to be.
He looks like a big guard. He looks like he has a physique. He's been in college before. Can you talk about him? How much is that going to help him? Is he something that make a big impact right away?
Yeah, I mean, sure. We feel like Caleb's going to be a day one impact guy. And, there's two things that usually impact an incoming freshman's ability to play right away. It's, the physicality of the game. Are they physical enough, and do they have the physical mentality to kind of be on the floor and handle those battles? And then IQ. And he has both of those things. So our expectation for him is to have a great freshman year and be an important part of everything we do. Yeah, probably not as close as you. We have great people here that kind of report on what's happening and kind of keep me updated on those things. But, like I said, I don't get caught up too much in the weeds on all that stuff, because I think if you did, you can drive yourself crazy. And, my job is to, with whatever's allowed, to make sure that we're doing the best job we can, putting our program in an advantageous situation. So I don't overthink it too much.
There's a lot of speculation you could add of how successful. I mean, how likely do you think that is based on what you guys are talking about?
Let's be opportunistic. I mean, we're going to be opportunistic, and if there's an opportunity to do something like that, and hopefully we can put ourselves in position. And I mean, there's been no secret that we would love to add another guy to this roster, and but we just had to kind of make sure that it's the right thing to do.
There's teams that will schedule overseas trips and all like over their opponents and games and all that. You guys, it looks like you're taking an opposite approach with that Lithuania team and all that. Why is that your mindset and schedule?
Well, who's to say we're not going to overrun these teams? No, I'm joking. Obviously, we have a massive amount of respect for the level of competition we're stepping up. I mean, these are going to be elite teams You know, they compete at the highest level of Europe, guys that play in the NBA. You know, the opportunity was presented to us, and I thought it's really cool. I mean, I don't want to get on a plane and go to Europe, and I would do that anytime to hang out. But I don't want to do that and go win a basketball game by 50 points. I want to go over there, and I want our guys to kind of appreciate the experience, for one, but two, like, appreciate the level of competition and see what we can get out of it.
Ties you have, players you have from Lithuania, your ties with the surrounding,
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Lithuania is a country that this program has a strong relationship with, and you know, I myself do. You know, I've been to Lithuania many a time, and it's a great place with great people, and you know, we're excited about the opportunity to take kind of Mo and Oogie back home, you know, and even Max, you know, who called it home last year, and yeah, I think this is going to be really special, and you know, I think I even heard a rumor that Brigger made a tour T-shirt. I can't wait to see when that unveiling of that. Like maybe, you know, it's his first body of work towards next year's EMOI classification. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the whole trip. And like I said, it's just a really special place, and we have a ton of connections, and we can't wait to get over there.
Is there anybody that's surprised you so far? I mean, again, just getting back to campus and just getting organized, but anybody that's standing out?
You know, I really don't look at it like that, because before they come in here, I'm not judging. So if you're not judging, how are you surprised? You know what I mean? I kind of let them come in here and figure it out, and then as I see things, I start coaching them and try to figure out how we're going to fit that into our system, or if we have to make adjustments. But all in all, no, I've been really happy. I think the guys have all made, you know, great progress over the course of the last couple of months, and now we got to see if we can kind of take the next steps and put it to the test.
Overall thoughts on the non-conference schedule now that that's been released? Do you feel that it gives you everything you're hoping for before going to the Big 12?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really challenging. And like, for me, I'm not even somebody who's sitting here and saying, this is going to prepare us for the Big 12. I mean, I'm just thinking it's going to be really tough, and we're going to take it game by game. And, you know, we've always scheduled like that. So, you know, we get great opportunities here to schedule some high-level games against elite opponents in elite places. So, you know, we're excited that our fans are going to be a part of that, because we think it's really cool. And, you know, we can't wait. We can't wait. But now, to be honest with you, my focus is 100% on just these upcoming practices and building to play, you know, 3 games when we go to Lithuania.
Even more so the case with the turnover in the game and every spring, portal, et cetera. You've got a brand new team you've got to get going in July, maybe more than ever than, say, 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, I think that's, you could definitely make a case for that. I just think my do is these guys are playing basketball year-round. They're working out somewhere with someone. So why not do it here? And because, you know, I don't have all the answers in player development, but I know this. Practicing here gives you the best opportunity to be the best player at Arizona. If you show yourself as a really good player at Arizona, you seem to have a lot of options after Arizona. So, like, to me, this is just a great opportunity for us to get together with the guys and kind of kickstart their development within our system.
Coach, can you talk about a little bit about what the tour is going to mean for the university and NCAA to represent that?
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's an honor. I mean, you know, we understand, you know, Arizona basketball may seem like a really important part to this university to a lot of people, but the university is about way more things than just our basketball program. So anytime, you know, we get to have the Block A and take it anywhere, especially internationally, it's really cool. I think people from here would be shocked how many people in Lithuania know what the University of Arizona is and how good University of Arizona basketball is. So anytime we can go out and kind of broadcast that message to the world, it's a really cool thing.
What are you guys looking forward to off the court?
Well, first off the court, I mean, there's 2 great cities we're going to be staying in Vilnius and Kaunas. I mean, they're world-class European cities. So just for our guys to kind of get a feel what it's like to see what a cool European city's like. For our guys to feel how important how important basketball is over there, especially in Lithuania. We're going to go to a really cool coastal city called Palanga to kind of have a good team experience there. But, I mean, honestly, it's just going to be spending time together and kind of sharing an experience together is what we're looking forward to.
Is there any plans for another trip, like next year?
Man, you're a little bit ahead of me. I mean, if we could do this annually, it's something I think that would be really cool, but we're not quite there yet. We've just got allowed by the NCAA to take these trips every year. It used to be once every 4 years, so we're just kind of getting a feel for what that's like, and yeah, I mean, if it works out in our schedule, I mean, and I have the endurance to do it, and we have the team to do it. We'd love to go to as many cool places in the world as we could.
You guys got out of Israel before that war broke out. Lithuania is very safe, but there's obviously wars going on nearby.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Is that
I mean, it's not at the forefront of my thoughts. I mean, I think we're going to a really safe country, but again, there's a lot going on in the world, and I don't think we should make, light of the situation that we're playing the Ukraine. I mean, these guys are out representing their nation, and while a war is literally going on inside their country. So, and it's a neighboring country to Lithuania. So, we understand what part of the world we're going to, but obviously, if we felt like this wasn't a safe situation, we would never put our team in that at risk.
As far as on the court, he appears to be fully cleared, and what's JJ's status?
Yeah, I mean, Oogie's been, basically a full go, for the most part, and is making good progress. And JJ didn't do much today, but he has had days where he's practiced pretty close to full, so he's made a lot of progress. But JJ, it's about just kind of getting his feet under him literally, and kind of getting his legs stronger, and then kind of building for more, September, October for when he's going to be at full speed. I don't know yet. I mean, we haven't made any of those determinations. We still have like 3 weeks to go before then, but obviously we're going to take a long-term approach to everything.
All right, that's the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats, Tommy Lloyd. Hopefully the media enjoyed getting a chance to go and hang out a little bit off the cuff with Tommy after the events over at the arena today. Maybe I'll try to hop over there after the show's over and see if everybody is still hanging out and having a pop or two. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. One segment left to go. If you heard anything there that you want to chat about in terms of Tommy Lloyd and the roster construction, still looking for that one final piece. So they're going to find that here in the United States. Maybe they'll find that when they go over to play in Lithuania.
A fifth-year senior, DK.
Maybe it'll be a fifth-year senior that'll come back and play. You never know what it might. Can you want to coax some of the? But again, to me, it's like if a guy has any thoughts of playing in the professional ranks, I would think you might want to do that. But who knows? If you want to come back and maybe get that love in college and make yourself a couple million or whatever that takes, then that's an opportunity now that you can do. All right, we'll come right back and have the final segment of the show. Update you on what's happening with your Diamondbacks. Great pitched game going on between these two teams in Cleveland, Ohio tonight. Dragon Ball getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s, traffic and weather.
Dragon Ball here with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Reminder, the I-19 Irvington Road Interchange project has been underway. Eastbound and westbound Irvington at I-19 will be down to one lane in each direction, and there'll be overnight work hours from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Speed limit reduction at 25 miles per hour. Should be done by 2028. For your weather, we're finally starting to cool down here, about 107 right now. Should be 98 once we get to 9 o'clock. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Albertsons and Safeway.
This week, with digital coupons at Safeway and Albertsons, beef ribeye, T-bone, or New York steak bone-in value packs are $9.97 per pound first 2 packages. Plus, all-natural, boneless, skinless chicken breast are $1.67 per pound first 8 pounds. Hurry in!
Nobody covers your cats like we do.
Touchdown, Arizona, the freshman, Gio Richardson.
His 1-2 is really high. He has a care factor, eagerness to want to learn, and really opening himself up to the coaching.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
The San Francisco 49ers have started to call in the reserves as Deebo Samuel is signing a one-year deal worth up to $7 million to return to the team he once requested a trade from. The 30-year-old wide receiver caught 5 touchdowns and had 72 receptions for over 700 yards last season with Washington. They added veteran Mike Evans to their receiver core this offseason, and they have to keep up with the Rams and the Seahawks in the NFC West. I'm Adam Abdallah.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like head administrator for a state-of-the-art surgical center.
What can I do for you, Doc?
We need to talk about the lights.
Ah, the mood lighting, relaxing, right? Much better than those old hospital vibes.
A hospital's supposed to have hospital vibes.
You seem tense. Let's dim the lights a bit.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Kick off the school year with Kohl's Friends and Family Sale. Because with 20% off styles kids love, they're not just going back, they're making an entrance. Save on jeans that turn hallways into runways. Tees that make them walk a little slower, for effect. Sneakers that say, I'm so back. And more confidence-inspiring looks for every grade at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles 20% offer ends August 2nd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Progressive presents Heroes That Keep Truckers Going. Today's hero, the true crime podcaster you listen to during a long haul. Yes, you may never look at a pair of pliers the same way again, or your spouse using pliers. But boy, you were entertained. Thanks, hero. Another thing that can keep truckers going, Progressive Truck Insurance with primary liability limits up to $2 million. Get a quote at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. $2 million limit is not available in all states.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000. Use code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Paid for by Action Matters.
Attention anyone who has had a colonoscopy, endoscopy, or any other scope procedure. If you or a loved one developed a serious infection or health complication after a scope procedure, you may be entitled to significant cash compensation. Dangerous infections have been reported across the country linked to Olympus endoscopes. Olympus scopes may have been defectively designed, and manufacturer instructions may not have been adequate in enabling proper disinfection, putting patients' health at risk. If you or a loved one were hospitalized for a bacterial infection within 90 days of a scope procedure, or developed sepsis, organ failure, HIV, tuberculosis, an antibiotic-resistant superbug, or another serious complication following a scope procedure, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Call now to find out if you qualify, but hurry. Time to file a claim could be limited.
Call 800-891-1857 now to see if you qualify. That's 800-891-1857. 800-891-1857.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Final segment with us for this week. We'll be back with you on Monday at 3 o'clock. Arizona Football Media Day on Tuesday. First practice on Wednesday, and we're off and running in the fall camp. Soccer will play next week for the first time. Volleyball's already in camp. It has begun. I'm sure the cross-country kids, I don't know if they've gotten their thing going. Update you on your Diamondbacks. They are in the bottom of the sixth in Cleveland. This is a really a well-pitched game right here. 1-0 is the score in favor of Cleveland. Tanner Bybee has allowed just 2 hits through 6 innings. Mitch Bratt went 5 innings and allowed just 3 hits.
He found his slurve.
Yeah, he did walk 4 guys, so put on some base runners and gave up a run. The lone run of the game, an RBI single in the first inning by Rhys Hoskins. And that's where we stand, 1-0 Cleveland over the Diamondbacks. That game going now to the bottom of the 6th inning. Mercury will be back on the floor tomorrow night. They'll play, actually tomorrow afternoon at noon against the New York Liberty. Unfortunately, fans headed out to that game will not get a chance to see one-time Mercury star from last year, Satu Sabali. She has already been ruled out of that game as she remains in concussion protocol.
I heard that Kelsey Plum might be available.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, she's on the trade block. She is definitely on the trade block.
Sunday.
You know who I heard was on the trade block? That could be a player that the Diamondbacks might be interested in. Your guy, Lars Nootbaar.
Awesome. That's my favorite Major League Baseball player by far.
Lars Nootbaar from the Cardinals is on the trade block, so don't be surprised if you see him potentially wearing a new uniform. And it looks like the Brewers are definitely in the mix for the chance to get Tarek Skubal from the Tigers.
I don't know where Lars is from, but it sounds like you'd have to. He's one of those guys you'd have to say Lars Nootbaar from the Pennsylvania Nootbaars. Like it's one of those kind of deals.
Indeed. How about this though? We talked about at the top of the show, or near the top of the show, from Nogales, Demetrio Crisantis is the new top prospect for the Diamondbacks. How about he's the new top prospect over Mitch Bratt, who's pitching tonight for the Diamondbacks in Cleveland, and LeJames Groover, who has also played this year in the big leagues. So he's a higher ranked prospect right now than 2 guys that have played in the big leagues this season. And Cole Drake. You can add Cole Drake to that list because he's starting on the mound tomorrow night in Cleveland.
How rare is that, like AA to top prospect in 3 months?
Yeah. Well, he was the number 3 prospect. So it's not a huge jump, but he has jumped up to that number 1 spot, Demetrio Crisantis. So if you're traveling this weekend, travel up to Reno and see Demetrio play in AAA. For the Aces. A lot of good stuff there. And also, I wanted to close. So we have our bet in for the game, the tennis match, which is getting started right now. So the play I had the number wrong. The play they gave us was over 22.5 games. That was not on the board, so we had to take over 23.5 games at -145. Ben Shelton and Alejandro Tabeo. That match is starting right now. So we'll see if we can come up with another win on that side as well. And Sugar Skulls play this weekend. They'll play on Sunday in San Diego, first round of the playoffs, looking to win their first ever playoff game. They are 0-3 in the first round of the playoffs since getting started here in southern Arizona. And they just played San Diego last week, losing that game on the road in a game that really didn't mean anything because both teams were already in the postseason. So good luck to the Sugar Skulls this weekend. All right, let's give you your Casino del Sol replay for today.
The Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
Salim Stoudemire, Arizona basketball class of 2005, second all-time in three-point percentage at the University of Arizona. joined the show. He is one of the coaches at the Lute Olson Fantasy Camp. And I asked Salim, what do you tell people about the man and the coach that was Lute Olson?
Well, first of all, I talk about the man. He was very family-oriented. Everything was about the group. It was never about an individual. And then on the court, he had so much knowledge and wisdom that all you can do is, get understanding. And, he was a big teacher. With me, it was more of a mental approach because he knew I had all the physical capabilities. But he knew that mentally I needed some development. So he really took the time out, got to know me. We bumped heads, but at the end of the day, we had a common goal, and we saw eye to eye when it mattered the most.
What was one of those? Can you tell us about maybe one of those things that you bumped heads on that maybe you thought was your philosophy, maybe didn't match his, and how you guys found that common ground?
Well, obviously, I was a little immature, obviously. But I think that it was our competitive nature that caused those moments. And once we talked it out and hung out and communicated with each other, we got on the same page.
When you look at an event like this Lute Olson Fantasy Camp and being around these guys that love this program, what do you feel like your role is this weekend? I mean, what do you want to impart on these guys that are there to have fun and to play hoops and to learn from you guys?
Well, first it's just getting to know them on a human being level, just a personal level. It's not even about basketball at first. The initial is getting to know you as a human being, seeing where we connect and where we can grow. And hopefully we can have a lifetime bond after the whole event.
There you go. There you go. But in terms of the other guys that are going to be there this weekend, obviously, Joe Turner, Pete Williams, Matt Muehlbach, all those guys. Who are you most looking forward to kind of reconnecting with this weekend?
All of them, because they are the ones that paved the way. We wouldn't have been able to do what we did without having those guys do it first. And they always embrace us. And it's just a good overall feeling just to be around guys that experience the same things that you experience.
Today's Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
J-Dub, I wanted to ask you, do you remember he talked about, I guess, that shot at the end against Illinois, Hassan Adams, take it. Do you remember at all the concept of that? Was that a shot normally that Salim would have taken?
Oh, man.
Went to Hassan?
It's been 18 years, and that's not a game that Arizona Wildcat basketball fans have on loop and watch millions of times. But, I mean, we all know, Salim was that guy, especially down the stretch of games, to make the big shots. He did it time and time again. And I think, at the end of the day, DK, you got to give credit to the other team. And I just think there were 3 NBA guards on that Illinois team, and they played really well in the second half. I just think they had a scramble defense going. It was really tough to get him a shot. And, Hassan can make that shot. It just didn't happen to go down that day.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for us today and this week. Thanks to Salim Stoudemire, Arizona basketball class of 2005. Thanks to Nate Tenney, one of the campers from the University of Arizona Lute Olson Fantasy Basketball Camp, for joining us as well, class of 2003. For J-Dub, for Cricket on vacation, she'll be back next week, and Dragon Ball, I'm David Kelly. That's our time for tonight and this week. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you on Monday at 3. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Dragon Ball here with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. We had accident with possible injuries over at North 1st Avenue and East Prince Road. A lot of backup at the intersection there. And we also have reports of a wire hanging over at South Nogales Highway and East Teton Road, just north of Los Reales, over by the Pima Community College Aviation Technology Center, so do be aware of that. For your weather, now sitting at about 106 right now. The temperature continuing to cool for the night. Tomorrow's high, though, 109. I'm Dragon Ball, your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Never wait to see your family doctor again. And My Doctor Now, you don't need to take time off work or even schedule ahead. Open 7 days a week. It's your family doctor. Available same day, every day, guaranteed. Go to My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Hey, it's DK on the Sports Tip. Don't miss a minute of the best Arizona Wildcats coverage in town. Tell your Alexa device to play Wildcats Radio 1290. This is your home of Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of feller who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Yeah! Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
This is a commercial with real words about Tobacco Barn, so let's get straight to the point. Oh! Tobacco Barn slices up to 40% off all your favorite tobacco products. You pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation.
Are you kidding me right now?
A rare chance to tell the tax man no.
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 Plus, at TobaccoBarnTucson.com, there's a coupon that can save you up to another $3. So check out the website.
This is a great moment in internet history.
Anyway, back to the main point.
What's going on around here?
Tobacco Barn slices up to 40% off all your favorite tobacco products. You can keep your city and state sales tax away from the tax man.
Ooh, that one hurt.
And save another $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
The July summer sales event is on now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. If adventure is calling, answer with a new 2026 Colorado Trail Boss with up to $4,000 off. Need even more capability? Drive home a 2026 Silverado Custom Trail Boss 4x4 with up to $10,500 off. Big savings, tough trucks, and a local team you trust. Find us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or shop 24/7 at O'Reilly.com. Together, let's drive.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000. Use code DEPOSIT to borrow up to $10,000.
Your next success can begin sooner than you think. At University of Maryland Global Campus, undergraduate and most graduate classes start August 12th. Apply now and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your hosts.